welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer Fantasy podcast, to quench your hobby thirst for all things the Old World. I'm one of your hosts, Gommo. I'm joined, as usual, live by Andrew and Josh, and all our patrons on our chat here. How are you guys going?
Good. I feel like you got
live again.
Buggered.
I'm buggered, but this pumps me up every time. As soon as I do my intro, I wake a bit up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it was a long weekend.
That's cool, mate.
Not literally, but felt like one.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done that before. So for those just jumping on here, we are covering our Shirecon experience on the weekend, a 5-day down in Sydney. Andrew and I went, and this time you've done this before, but I haven't, Andrew, where we did the early morning drive down and then just played the games, stayed the night, played the others, and drove back. So it's an early morning
on the red eye.
It is. Yeah,
I had a bit of a big day the day before. I think I was out from lunch till about 9 at night.
Couple of brews.
Went out with my wife and some friends, and then got about 4 hours in before Andrew dropped in and picked me up. So, yeah, a bit rat shit, but it was good. Oh, fun and games.
Yep.
So, how's all our people in our chat? We've got some people on YouTube here. Cam, he's here as usual. I know he's been harassing us to try and get a more kid-friendly or work-friendly time, but I guess that's a bit of a balancing act at the moment. But yeah, thanks, Cam, for being here. Mick Wong, met him down at Shirecon as well. He's on here. And, of course, Mark Langley.
Yep.
Mm.
Yes,
Oh,
he's throwing a bit of shade on
down
your
a little
background
bit
there.
Mark, is that okay? I got to have the blue light showing behind me. I can turn the lights up if you want.
A few aspirins, bit of a turning the lights down.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yep.
You don't need to see me. I'll turn my camera off. No, that's all good. Maddie's in the house as well. He was down there as well. So, fellas, how's the abs, Josh? Yes.
I don't care what the abs are.
It's from the images that Josh put up. I mean, Andrew put up, pretty sure. In the Slanesh video.
Right.
You probably watched it once, guy. I'm not looking at it again. You're basically famous, man. You should have heard the amount of suggestions we got when we were down there.
While we're talking about Slaneshi, Josh,
really? You mean while you're at Shirecon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. That's ridiculous.
I asked you a question on the chat, Josh.
Yeah, I know. I saw your question.
Yeah? You don't need to tell everyone what it is.
Oh, did you ask him?
Yeah, haven't you seen the messages?
I think it
I
would very
haven't
much
put up in our
depend
chat.
on what it is. I very much depend.
Yeah, I'll set it in the next message.
We don't want to tell that. We can't tell the chat any of this, can we?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought he could.
We'll cover this later.
It'll just make things worse. Not that I'm going to make it worse.
Anyway,
but yeah.
All right.
Cool. And obviously Silver Dave.
Oh my goodness, these guys are so ridiculous.
Well, you're never going to live live this one down.
Yeah, look at Maddie's just making it. I've got a boom to paint on a call the monolith.
I know. Okay, no, you're right. And far out, Mark. I forgot it again. And yeah, it was Josh's drum roll. I should have had. I've got this sound effect board, and I don't even have that loaded up in there. Man, you just did not get the same treatment you got last year, Josh. You're 40.
I'm 40.
And we bloody missed it last week. He was 40 the day after we recorded.
It was the day after.
Yeah, so I did. You didn't.
I said happy birthday on the Patreon. Thank you. I'll look after Josh.
Yeah, I totally missed it. Till I saw everyone else say, yeah, man. I went, what? Where did I miss this? And then I went into, I hadn't gone into Facebook, and I went into there. It is at the top. That's how I obviously.
It's only Facebook. Facebook's the best way to do it.
It's a bit sad, but it's.
Thanks,
but
guys.
last year, was it you, Josh, that got the birthday cake logo? That
I got the cool. I remember getting the animated GIF birthday cake logo. Yeah, yeah. I was sort of hoping you'd pull it out now. To be quite honest.
Really, it's not there, is it? No, it's gone. Damn it. It must have been.
Or was it in the system? Was it in StreamYard?
I think it was. Yeah. Oh, no, I did it. No, I did it over the top. Anyway, this is really great. Live chats
great
today.
live stuff.
But yes, big happy birthday. Josh is 40.
Thanks,
finally joins the 40 club. He's not at the train collecting club age yet, but he'll get there.
Soon.
When you're about 50, get your first train set since childhood when you hit about 50. Yeah, is that what it is?
So does it go train set, Warhammer,
Yeah, and then back to train set, I think.
Family Warhammer train
Trade
set.
set. Die. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. You revert to the mean or something. Anyway, well, we better we are going to cover my games, Andrew's games. I think one of ours had better games than someone else, but that's okay. We're going to try, Key, because I know they can go long, and I know we're going to get distracted with. We've got some Patreon questions to catch up with after that. So I definitely want to give those patrons, as usual, a shout out after we do our Shirecon wrap-up. And if you're new to the channel, obviously we're here every week live now. Plus any other bat reps and YouTube videos we do. You can join us, all the other patrons, and most of them are on this chat. Not most of the patrons, but most people chatting here are patrons. And they've joined over on patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. So you can jump over there, join in the fun, get access to the private Discord group as usual, and throw us your hobby and all the other cool goss that we get out of these guys. Now, last week we did have this, and I think Josh is ready for it this time because I didn't tell him about. If people do want to share stuff with us during the pod, there is a link at the top of the chat. Is it still pinned? It was pinned last week, and I don't know if it still is, but maybe we'll go back and check. But there is a Discord channel. You can just jump in, and Josh is monitoring it if there's any fun things to show. He's on strict adult watch not to share his usual monoliths, but that's okay. We'll get there. Oh, cheers, Matty. Yes, I did see that. He'll be our first Patreon. Matty joined up after, obviously we caught up with him on the weekend. Cool. Anyway, that's about it at the moment. Have I missed anything logistical before we jump into Shirecon?
No.
Don't think
so.
So.
Straight in.
Yeah, I reckon straight in. I mean, I think between maybe a little bit of an intro. Maybe we'll go game for game, Andrew. But do you want to go first?
I've got all mine ready to go in a slide. Have you got a slide?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, sort of. Yeah, but you can just do your first ones, and then I
think it's good to alternate.
Okay,
it's nice. It's preferable.
Otherwise, you just hear the same drone over again.
Well, I thought, Josh, do you want to be on the chess clock? Make sure the ramblings to a minimum. I know it's going to be hard for me, but
might have to rein it in. I'll watch it happen, but I'll do my best to move you guys along.
I'll go into mine first, just because I had it up on the screen ready to go.
How many people were at Shirecon, by the way? So
actually,
we do a bit of
if Gommo wants to run down, I might log in just to get the lists and everything and the scores.
Okay, right. Yeah. Shirecon was down in Sydney at Savannah Heights. It's so you've been there before, but I hadn't. It's like it's a sports club, like there's soccer fields and all that sort of stuff, and it's like a cricket and sort of the chain sheds, but then there's this sort of big like a Cub. It's like a bit like a Cub Scout hall, isn't it? But then with a couple of mezzanine levels looking over it. Little kitchen, which I didn't realize they supply food the whole time. I obviously pay for it, but I mean it's got breakfast and lunch, plus they even had beers, like just bottled beers and stuff. So it's like, considering it's like just a little hall, I wasn't sort of expecting that, which is good. We, the old world guys, we probably settled in at 24, so it wasn't massive, but I mean, I guess it's pretty common for this size at the moment. And as you would have said last week,
it wasn't huge.
Well, I reckon I didn't count it, but I wouldn't say we were. I wouldn't have been shocked if someone said you guys were the biggest group. Do you know what I mean?
40K and Age of Sigma were next to us as well, so yeah,
and they weren't like massively over. So so that was it. It's 5 games, 2,000 points, virtually no comp except for the sort of Throne of Skullsy, was it? Yeah. And as you saw last week, there was a good few sweaty lists, but not. I mean, after the top, 6, 7 really crazy ones, it wasn't too bad, and a bit of a mix. Most people, everyone's seen everyone, but there was probably, I don't know, what do you reckon? A handful of people that hadn't played in tournaments too much, maybe a couple. So that wasn't too bad. I think a couple people had to drop out day 2, but not many. So it was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's pretty much it.
All right. So game 1. As Dave pointed out, that's my lovely pizza. So what I get, so I brought a Creation Woodsman list. So if people don't know my list from the other few weeks, basically it had 5 units of Huntsmen with warbows. What else do I have? 2 units of 5 Sisters. Had like 5 normal archers. I had a Lion Chariot. I had a BSB on a Lion Chariot as well, but it was the Creation Huntsman, like the sort of tweener.
Between
like the normal hero and the Lord. He packs a punch. He really does on the charge. Anyway, I've got a unicorn with my level 3 sorceress on it. I've got a dragon with a lord. But not miss him out. He was running what was he running? He had like a 2-up, single 5-up from the Charm Shield. Love that thing. Yeah. And then he had a 5-up regen. He was running the Ogre Blade and the helm that gives you +1. Anyway, so that's a quick rundown of my list. I think I didn't miss anything there.
Did you say it was Moon Dragon? Sorry, I might have missed that. Did you say?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. He's on a Moon Dragon, the medium one, the one in the middle. The medium one, the one in the middle.
I was going to bring up Silver Dade's comment, but I'll leave that because that's I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was up against James, Ogre Kingdoms game 1. It was good because I was a little bit nervous with who I was going to get. I've never played James before, and it was just because he was ogres. I was like, I heard ogres weren't that great. So it sort of lifted my anxiety a bit. And then I met James, and James is like he's real good to play with. So it was like a real chilled sort of first game. It was really good after, that drive down, you're up at like 5 in the morning. It's just a bit of a drag, and you're just like, here we go. So that worked out really well. Anyway, his list, he had like 4 Mournfang right in the center. He had a big block of, I don't know if they're bruisers, the guys with the great weapons. In that, he had like a choppy, actually, I'll bring up his list. That might help. He had kind of like a choppy Lord. He had his level 3 or level 4 sorcerer. And it was just like a really, really hard sort of bunker. So we're Slaughtermaster, and a Tyrant and a Bruiser. I think they're all in that. 2 of them were at least in that center unit.
Iron Guts.
Was it Iron Guts? Is that them?
Yep.
Yeah, sweet. Then on the left, he had that's his Bruiser. Running on a Stonehorn, Talisman of Protection, War Banner, and some other bits and pieces. So we had 3 Bulls, 2 Saber Tusks, a pack in front of both of those on the left, and he had the Thunder Tusk, I think, is the other one that he had up there. Yeah, the 2 monsters. I'm not a big ogre sort of person, so I'm trying to work out what's what here. Anyway, so he deployed, so his 2 monsters on the left, and then sort of like all his big stuff right in the center. I had all of my sort of infantry all along the left. Like, I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 drops or something, or 7. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like maybe 11 or 12. Like I was pretty much, I think there was only one where I was sort of like even on drops. So it was like one of those armies where I knew where he was going to be. So I just put out like a lot of small units, saw where he sort of formed up a bit, and I thought, well, I'll go real shooty on the left and just try and take out hopefully the Mournfang. I had a lot of shooting over there before I can get in and do too much damage. In the center, I just thought his big brick was a little bit back, and I'm like, maybe I'll just sort of like not put too much in the middle and then try and get rid of the monsters on the right. Because to me, there's like, I wouldn't be able to take on both those together. So I thought, well, it's going to take that center brick a long time to actually get around to where my dragon would be. So that's where I was like, I'll just take out those monsters, and then hopefully that's when I can go back and maybe deal with the big brick in the middle. This is turn 2. I just basically moved up, just started shooting, as you can see. So over here, we were sort of toing and froing a bit. I ended up, what happened? trying to remember if he charged me or I charged him. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, so I charged in with my dragon. I did get into his BSB guy. He put him forward and gave me a decent sort of charge. So I was able to get in. I had a longer charge range anyway, so I thought he was just like, oh, I'll just give you the one I want to fight. And then on the right, I just sort of like chaffed the other monster up because I thought he might try and send that through towards where my chariot and everything is. So that's what I was protecting. And there sort of what's actually happened is...
Oh no.
Oh, no. They're all gone.
His charge, James charged the monster to the right in whatever it is, the Thunder Tusk. Just trying to get like a flank and close order, just for combat res. But I was able to just get enough because I did a bit of damage to this guy at the start, just get enough to pop his BSB. And then unfortunately, you can imagine where his Thunder Tusk would have ended up when he flank charged me there. His bum was right up against the back of the board. So yeah. I killed, his BSB and the Thunder Tusk went off.
Did he give ground? Or did you even bother rolling?
Yeah, it was give ground off the Bygo. I forget. It was just one of those unlucky things. Like you're probably like, I want to help him out. Sometimes that just happens. It's like, oh shit.
You just don't think of it.
You wouldn't think of it initially. You'd sort of go in. Because yeah.
Especially
I thought for a second maybe he would have panicked off, but he probably didn't.
I was thinking it was a panic. Yeah.
He ended up moving off, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. So his Thunder Tusks, I took 2 of them out, but they just sort of ran straight through my lines. I was sort of sending everything off behind it, maybe trying to get some shots, when they turn around. Here's the 3 bulls. They're just, up on the top left of screen. They're just sitting in a forest. They just sat there, just chilling, and I was just trying to kill them. And
this was sorry. I just say this was open battle, like there wasn't anything.
With
this one,
just trying to kill each other. And then I just thought, well, I've got a few turns. I'll just sort of like try and line up a big multi-charge, just to sort of, give me a bit of breathing room with that unit. Hopefully, take most of the fighting rank out. So I ended up, I did go in with the dragon, my BSB on his lion chariot and just another lion chariot. I was able to take enough off, although you can see they sort of went to town on the BSB in the middle. But he's really good. I really, really like him. But I was able to get a lot of the guys, but obviously I didn't get the unit and I didn't get his mage, I think. So that's where it ended. Really great battle, really great guy. And we ended up with a 7-13 in the end.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. The other thing too with this tournament was you did get 50% if you got people down to 50%, which I thought was such a good extra little buff change to the game type thing. It sort of made it a little bit easy. Well, not easier, but not for me.
Is that how it made it like 13-7? Is because he would have got half of your BSB on the chariot and that type of thing with those wounds.
Yeah, it was just
picked up a little bit like that.
Yeah, like you got through, like the Tuskers did get through a couple of units and things like that, and and
you're pricey. At the end of the day, take 3 units out or something.
But I mean, like
it doesn't take
13's not too bad. You took a bit of casualties, but you killed quite a bit of their army. It's just
I think 13s were in the 400 to 600 ranges. Was it different? Maybe I don't know. Can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
I guess I think seeing the two Stonehorns go, I was like, oh, okay, this is all going to go one way, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought he was going to send it through, get the eagle, and then sort of try and get into the other stuff. But I mean,
I don't know what it was, but there was a lot of close games, especially round 3. When I saw the scores, I was like, whoa, what the hell?
Yes.
So lucky it wasn't sort of a one-dayer in a way. Entropy. Josh played Old World. Well, funny enough, he did because he was in my army. So, okay. We'll go to mine.
I was there.
Josh is the giant. I brought Josh the giant. So I have Andrew and Josh in my not in my army, but in my orc collection. But only one came along because Andrew came along in person. So
yes,
there you go.
Yep.
I'm playing Chris Thomas. I haven't played him before. It looks like his nickname's Crispy on Old World Rankings. One of the armies, so I played Andrew on Thursday night before the tournament, because I don't think, Andrew, you hadn't played that creation. You hadn't played the list, hey?
And you stomped me.
And it was that game when I realized my orcs, because I'm so used to playing black orcs on my Wyverns, that my orcs are only leadership 8 and not 9. Like, I think I was cheating in the first game with Andrew. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, crap. I have to remember that. And then, of course, the first army I turn up against is the 5 Scream. Vampire Count army. So we have the Master Necromancer level 4 in there somewhere. I think he's just sitting next to this big block of Graveguard over on the left. Strigoi Ghoul King on a Terrorgeist. Another tomb. There's a Tomb Banshee on the left of that Graveguard unit as well. And then Terrorgeist.
Was that Chris's list?
Yeah, Chris's. Yeah. And there's direwolves off in the wall in the big forest there. And for those who didn't see my stuff last week, it's based, and sorry, it probably doesn't have everything in this pick, so I just picked a few of them. It's a nomadic war with 2 wyverns. I've got a big unit of 16 big and boar boys with the raggedy flag on the left, and then I think there could be a chariot. Oh no, the chariot's actually on the hill there. There's a wyvern there. One wyvern doesn't have like a ward save, and he's just sort of like a bit choppier. He's got like the tags, or however you say it, best basher, and it is a good best basher. I like it. Gives him weapon skill 7, so he's like a black orc, but just not as tough. Like doesn't have the extra save, that sort of stuff. Yes, Mick Wong. Yes, it was a sweaty vampire list, and then Josh is in the middle. Probably a bad spot for him, but because he doesn't move. The problem with the giants,
I'm happy there.
12 inches, right? And I'm like, you almost need to put him in the middle, because at the time I wasn't sure where everything was going to go, and I'm like, it gives him a chance to sort of go either way, depending on
let me just run of those 4 Terrorgeists. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Well, that's what I wanted to do, but then the forest is there, and then those hills and the impassable. I couldn't sort of. He's either going to be like behind that forest in the middle, or he's going to be like way out in the flanks. Because that was one of the things. He was one of the people I would like to get into a Terrorgeist, because he's the only one who can probably survive. Yeah, and then 2 units of 7 just normal orc boar boys. I think I can't remember which order here. It looks like the one that is vanguarded up there is the one with the sort of the speedier banner, extra sort of 3-inch range. Another Goblin Chariot, and then my sort of general tankier guy, just sort of hanging back, waiting to see what he does with these Terrorgeists. To be honest, and I will admit, I was, thanks to Chris, he actually helped me through a couple of turns, because he just like, I think we were talking about, Andrew, like maybe it was because we got up early and all that. You're sort of just jittery and just like forgetting like just basic shit. Just like, thanks, dude. I'm just like, like it's good to have a good opponent initially who's like, yeah, man, I do that. Like, it's good. I think I reminded him of something in like turn 4 too, so it wasn't like he was the only one reminding me, but it was good. So yes, anyway, so that was it. But yeah, I was pretty bit worried about what to do with this. Anyway, so I'll just jump through. It was really this right-hand side. I don't know what to do too much. I just sent my balls up, just trying to. They're going to get, like, if I can get a charge on Terrorgeist and see what happens, but at the same time, I didn't want to give him a real easy one. I just wanted to see where he moved, and then maybe I can get a charge off. Those annoying direwolves are there, but I thought if I get into them, I can get around the back and then head for his Graveguard from that side. And then this is, so there's going to be one I lost on this side. So basically I pushed right up. But so he's, so he couldn't charge me. And I think I was measuring, if I'm correct, I measured out that he couldn't do his move and his scream on turn 1. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever that range was, Andrew. Can't remember what it was. 16, 17 inches, whatever it is. Where they have to move 8 inches and they can only scream 8 or whatever it is. So I sort of was safe turn 1, and then I assumed I'd be able to get some form of charge.
Yeah, they can't march and scream.
Yeah. And because that big Graveguard unit is there, I was like, well, I mean, I thought he might just put Terrorgeist in front or something, but I thought, with this much, I should be able to get in charge 1. Not that Strigoi Ghoul King not wipe it out in one go, but you never know. But yeah, that's sort of where that side ended up. And then, yeah, he sort of moved around. You can see the Terrorgeist here in the middle. He's sort of flown 2 of them up into the forest, getting in range to start screaming next turn. But not much in that. Like he just sort of moved up a little bit on his right. So my turn 2, I just like unloaded with everything I could, and then failed my fear tests on leadership 8 with my ball unit and my chariot, and then failed the charge on the wyvern by about an inch. I was like, fuck's sake. Even in warband, I didn't make it. It wasn't like, it's not like it was an easy charge, but it wasn't. With re-rolls, I thought, that'd be good. So it was not to be. So that's okay.
So and then did he outnumber you with that unit?
Yes. Yes. I'll tell you that too. So when we worked it out before I declared the charges, he's got 32. I've got 16, but he does have the BSB in there, so he's got 33 unit strength.
Oh.
So by 1. I actually tried to shoot because we knew this. I actually think I see my little goblin guy there. I actually tried like vindictive glare and everything into it and just didn't get it because I was trying to magic missile some dudes off it, but it didn't. I can't remember. Either dispelled it or I failed to cast it. Because when we worked that out, I was like, if I could just take like 1 out.
Couple out.
It just didn't happen. His turn, he charged my wyvern, and I just held. And he's got the ogre blade. I don't have a ward. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Whatever. But I thought if he holds, then I can go in with my my other guys next to me. So that wasn't too bad. And what happens is I do hold. I can't see the dice there. I think he put 3 wounds on my guy with the ogre blade.
Yeah.
It might have been 2 actually. That could be a 5. Can't really tell unless people work out. It's definitely not a 4 because the 3 is there. So it could be a 5. So he might have done 2 wounds on the ogre blade. And then this is where I went a bit. This is where my brain died, right? So, so I went in with this big unit and then my giant as well, sort of what that other guy did, just to sort of add a combat res. But it was a bit annoying. I was like, if I'd positioned the giant better, it's hard. I've give ground and all that shit. So I didn't get the flank on him, so I had to go in the front. Which means I'm down a combat res basically. Like I'm only on 6. And then, I was like, are you challenging? And he's like, well, we're going back and forth. And then he decided to challenge because we weren't in a challenge before. Like we just were fighting each other.
Right.
And then he goes, actually, no, I will challenge. And then I'm like, and I think just getting a few wounds on my wyvern first, I just chickened out and I went, no, you can have my champ then. But the problem is then he just fucking wiped my champ. 6 wounds. And I'm like, oh, fuck, hang on, 6. And then we added up and I'm like, oh, shit, I've lost by 1. And then I made a leadership 8 here and -1 for terror. And this big unit fucking ran away.
Oh, no.
And he chased it down with he's moved here, but he actually did he? No, sorry, I think he left it go and then he did the chase thing in his turn, and anyway, they went off the fucking board. I just brain deaded that. That was just shocking, shocking, Colin.
So you had sorry, I'm trying to work this out. So you had 3 close order. You got a banner, a rank.
Can't remember.
3 close order, banner, rank. Because you need 7.
4, 5, 6. Yeah. And I've got 6. Yeah.
So you didn't have a BSB in there, did you?
No, didn't have BSB. No, okay. Yeah, because I had the double wyvern. Yeah.
Oh,
if you have the BSB, you can easily get. Because you get the BSB, you can put a war banner on it, and you can actually have a pretty chunky thing. And that, in hindsight, probably should have done that. But I did enjoy having the 2 wyverns. I think a lot of times they were fun. But you couldn't get the wizard and their man and all that, so it was just like. Yeah. And to be honest, when I wrote the list, I just totally brain dead, didn't realize I was only on leadership 8 a lot, which probably, I wouldn't say I lost game, but this one was a bit dumb. That was more me than the leadership, if you know what I mean. But I definitely failed a few fears and terrors over the 5 games just with such it's 50-50 when you get those -1s on you as well. It's like, So that did not go well. Considering at the time it looked like if I got that initial charge off, probably going to wipe that Graveguard unit. It's just so it was ups, it was highs and lows. And anyway, Josh gets in. I can't remember where his Strigoi Ghoul King went there because it's there, but for some reason he did get rid of my ball boys. I'm just trying to work out what happened.
Paddy was asking, did you use the War ability on the charge?
Yes. Yeah. So with the so this guy did in his first turn, but he failed his charge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that guy failed his charge turn 1, even with Warband. So I lost his. So I didn't have a War for that next one because he already had it. When that guy charged him, he did have a combat res in the other turn, but not in that turn that I went in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's got combat res there, but not that turn. So shitty. Anyway, it is what it is. And then but Josh tries to get some revenge. He goes,
hey, Josh.
I'm going in.
For those keeping score, I roll a 1. I pick up that fucking BSB, and he's gone. I ate him, or whatever he does. Or stuffed him in his bag. So he lost his like regen and all that sort of stuff. So and then he proceeded to like just continually smash down this unit, which was quite fun. And you can see my boars up there; they've come all the way around by turn 3 or so. They come in the back there. While that's happening,
nearby, sorry. Or anything trying to raise that unit?
Yeah, he's right there. See him there. Now, this is the funny thing. And sorry, I'm getting close to the end of this game because I have gone over my time here. He did a cool because I think he got sort of because he knew I could panic off so quick. He probably didn't need to do this, but it was sort of fun and I sort of appreciated it. He put the fear thing on him. He's got like he had the spell to add terror to himself. And then he gave himself spiritual steed, and then he tried to terror bomb my. He charged my ball boys that are there. See him on the back there, just to see if he could terror bomb me off because I was on leadership 7, and I held. And so his necromancer ended up like 2.5 turns into my ball boys, mostly with spectral steed up, so I couldn't hurt them, but he couldn't. He was rolling shit on. He's only got 1 attack or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, or 2 attacks or whatever. And because I had close order and banner, I was actually like chipping 1 wound off. Eventually killed his necromancer. So I thought it was a bit of a gift from Chris, thanks, because it was like a funny idea, and I would have totally just destroyed my.
I wouldn't say it's a gift. I think that's a very cool idea to do. You know, there's a good chance you just sort of.
But it's a leadership 7, 50-50, so it could have gone either way. So lucky it went my way in that one. Josh smashed about through half of that unit, and then those ball boys came in and hit the back of them.
Love it.
And then meanwhile, really the only other thing was if my general could get through some Terrorgeists, and what ended up happening, I think, is I got rid of 1, and he eventually got my guy down. So I got through 2 Terrorgeists, and most of that Graveguard unit. But when you added it all up, it was an 11-9 loss to the poor Orky boys, unfortunately. I've had a I've had a request to put something up on the big screen. Okay, cool.
Let's see if I can do this in a way that. Oh dear, this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know who took this photo, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I've seen this.
Oh, you're gonna take. Where's your thing? Oh, can I remove that? No.
Yeah. Sorry, entry. That's exactly what he did. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yes. That was Dave saying I've got the. What did he say? That was my tactical
power move. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Power stance.
Love it.
Yeah. So, thanks, Mark. Mark said a very respectable with low leadership army versus that filth. I'll take that. But look, at the end of the day, man, the boneheaded decision on that. Look, although I am telling myself that he already put 2 wounds on my Wyvern, I don't have a ward save. There's still a good chance he'll put 6 like overkill through my Wyvern as well with that bloody Ogre Blade. So I don't know. Maybe it's not that. Maybe I was in for a loss either way.
I'm loving the response from this photo. Is that a monolith is your pants? Asserting dominance. Pure Warhammer Adonis.
I'll tell you, when we get to that third game, I think it's third game, whatever it was, that I was playing that ogre. There's a very interesting thing that happened around the ogre players that are sort of the ogre players in the lists that me and Andrew discovered that night when we were trying to describe to each other that we played ogres. Because for a second there, we thought we were playing this, we were talking about the same list. And then he was mentioning shit. And I'm like, I didn't have that. And then, but anyway, we'll get to that in my game 3 because it's kind of bizarre.
It's crap anyway, game 3, guys.
All right.
I go going twice over my time.
Oh, Jesus. They say I ramble. All right. So now, game 2 against Richard Hill. You would recognize his army because we went through it a little bit last week. So Richard ended up winning best sports. It was actually really fun to play against, and so I was pretty rat shit. So he's helping me out with rules and stuff, which was really, really good. Just when you're a bit tired, sometimes, like adding, pluses and minuses, especially for shooting, and I've got lots of shooting, does help. So he was running the expeditionary force. If you can remember, he had like a couple of engineers with, like the big shooty engineer. He had a runesmith. He ran the dwarf bugman's cart for the extra movement. He had a unit of 20 warriors, just sort of like, standard warriors, veteran, shield, rune of battle. So they weren't too bad, but they weren't like souped up combat units, obviously, for the expeditionary force. He had 2 scout gyrocopters, a bolt thrower with a rune of skewering, which makes it strength 7, I think. He had 2 cannons, 2 gyrocopters with brimstone guns. That was the star of the show, actually. 2 scout gyrocopters, 3 doom seekers. So yeah,
this is one of those duplicate lists we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I've got a
pairs of everything. I love it.
Yeah. It's like Creation Woodsman. For 33% core. Anyway, so this is first turn. So on the left, I've gone all my Creation Woodsman, as you can see. I sort of in the first game, the dangerous terrain pizza that I put down was actually getting in my way.
That's your pizza.
More than anything.
I actually didn't realize that was your pizza when someone mentioned about it being Eastern European.
It's Cam's pizza that I borrowed.
All right. Okay.
I was going to ask you about that, Andrew, because like it's right over on the edge. I was like,
yeah.
We got in your way, you're saying.
Yeah, well, I had, I've got the line chariots, got problems. You try and charge through it. You're taking 1d6. It doesn't take your movement away, but I'm like, I want the d6. I don't want to do the lowest d6. Like, I want the highest d6 because you're rolling 1s and 2s a lot of the time, and it's just it hampers you more than anything. Anyway, so sorry. On my left, I had Creation Woodsman. Behind that, there was a big hill or impassable. Sorry. Behind that, I had my eagle, my dragon, and my unicorn. To the right of that, I had Lion Chariot and Lion Chariot BSB, Creation Woodsman. In a forest, I had 5 sisters. Off to the right, I had, I think it was 5 sisters, maybe my 5 bowmen on a hill, and then Creation Woodsman. He just rolled to his right, his far right. He had all his artillery, and then sort of like just towards the center of his side, he had his 2 units of dwarves with the dwarf cart, and just across the board, there's just gyrocopters everywhere. Just everywhere. I won't even go through them. They're just across the board, evenly spaced. Yeah.
I know, there's so many of them.
So this is turn 2. He blew up. It was around here. Sorry, it's like turn 2 and 3. I didn't get heaps of photos. So he blew up one of his cannons, which is a bit of a bummer. Obviously, you'd like if there's a dragon running around to have your cannons operational, but he blew one up. I think the other one misfired as well. He had a bit of an unlucky first turn with those. His run up with his I've just started running up and shooting what I can. So I'll start hitting his doom. Oh, just a little bit further on. Much further on. Oh, geez. Yeah, right. So I'm missing a few things there. So yeah.
I think my game freeze like that with no pictures.
Yeah. I've got a couple of games like that. All right, so basically,
Keep going.
So what's happened on the left? I've come up with all my Creation Woodsmen. I'm like, I just need to get rid of these Doom Seekers. I can't have them. They're such a good model because, like, you get the points if they die, like the player that owns them. And you can't just leave them to get into combat and they just run forward at you. So it's like, it's one of those things. You can't just leave them there. So
yeah,
ended up shooting off all his Doom Seekers. We had 3 of them. That gyrocopter there sort of like did some bombs and it was chasing around my... So this is down the bottom. There was a gyrocopter, a green one. The very bottom gyrocopter sort of ran around and the entire game was just harassing my mage. So it was just chasing my mage the entire game, like literally. So yeah, his artillery sort of kept firing for quite a bit, but I did end up getting, I think I got my woodsman into them in the end and ended up destroying them. He didn't do too much. He might have done like a wound or something to my lion chariots, possibly. I think he was shooting at my dragon quite a bit. And yeah, he didn't have too much luck. I sent my dragon and my lion chariots and all that up into sort of one of his blocks. He ended up getting stupidity on my dragon. Luckily, I passed the check. And basically, I was able to, I forget if I might have sacrificed one of my units or something like that just to sort of chaff the right unit up. And I ended up going into the left unit with a lot of things. Took me a couple of turns, but I was able to get that left unit down. Turned around, sort of, I think I overran into his engineer, killed him, turned around, and then ended up getting the other warrior unit. So yeah, ended up killing quite a lot of warriors. His gyrocopters, he was shooting a lot of my... Actually, this is quite funny because he said he was actually a little bit worried about my list. I'm like, yeah, well, worried about your list. Yeah, so towards the top, he just had like Air Force, the Air Force versus all my Creation Woodsmen. And I was actually probably starting to do more damage onto him than what he could sustain compared to me. So in the shoot-off, he decided, well, I'm just going to get into combat with you. So he tried to take out a few units because gyrocopters have got a impact hit. So he sort of sent multiple units into my guys, and they actually were able to stay, most of them. And nice. By the end of it, I was able to get quite a few of his gyros out of that. I was a bit surprised as well. I was like,
so he's basically committing them, and then once they're in there, you can chop through them because you've got that.
Yeah. Well, he took out quite a few, but I was just able to pass, like checks and whatnot, and just because gyrocopters don't have a huge unit strength, it wasn't like 2-to-1 sort of thing. So I was still going. So yeah, you can see here. This is where I sort of like took out the second unit. This is like the end of the game in the center with my dragon. I ended up also getting my lion chariot out into one of the combats with his gyrocopters and took them out. So I think he had maybe one unit of gyrocopters at the end and a couple of the other gyrocopters. So there's maybe 3 gyrocopters, something like that. So in the end, what do we end up with? 16-4. So I got a medium win out of that. But yeah, Richard was really, really good to play against. And the entire time he was helping me out. So it was a really, really good game.
Smashing it, man. You're at the top table.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Well, the tables weren't indicative to your score, I don't think. Yeah,
they weren't. But,
but figuratively.
Yeah, figuratively, I was.
Yeah. That was good.
Getting up there, which is good and bad.
Bad. Yeah. It's funny, just like you're just looking where actor and stuff's going.
Round 3 out of 5. Yeah, the top table is scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not submarining.
No,
you're surfing.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. I played, and I'll just grab the list up here quickly. Adam I keep saying Wonderly. It is Wonderly. Okay, I got it right. Sorry. Yeah, Adam's got Wood Elves. I think he played a lot in 6. I don't think he's played heaps in Old World yet or something. I can't remember. I might be wrong there, Adam. If he listens, because he is in some of the other groups I'm in. But yeah, he's got Wood Elves. And yeah, I totally forgot to take some pictures at the beginning, but it's you'll follow along because I'm not hopefully not too long. But yeah, he's got the Glade look like the usual Forest Dragon guy. But he doesn't have like Ogre Blade and stuff. He's got the Annoyance and Netlings and stuff. Spell Lever, level 4 Illusion, Glade Captain on like flying around on an eagle, and then Glade Guard, Scouts, Glade Riders. Unit of 5 Wild Riders. So yeah, you can see up here there's like on his left, he's got like some Deepwood Scouts, and then I think he's got a Treeman, 5 Wild Riders, and I think it's 1 Eagle, and then he's BSB on the Eagle. So there's a bit out on that side, and then all the way on the other side there was like his Dragon and his Wizard, and maybe some War Dancers or something. Like it was sort of split. What was this mission, man? Can you remember? Was that why? I can't even remember why it was split like this now. What was this one? Do you remember? Was it anything special? It was one of the. What's the second? Oh, it's Breakpoint.
I thought it was the high center.
And we were up further. That's right.
Yeah, Breakpoints. Yeah,
yeah. It's just weird. It's just the way the battle.
2 flanks were reduced, and the center was quite
that's
prominent.
Right. Yeah. So his scouts must have scouted into that area and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so I sort of I sent my giant because he's Treeman and stuff over there, and the Wild Riders. I thought maybe I'll try and take a. What are do you guys know what they are? I was assuming they were like strength 5 in the charge. I'm not sure. I should know my rules here, but I just figure I'll send Josh up there and try and take a big charge for one of these.
I think they are 5 because they got lances.
I'm pretty sure they're 5. They got spears and they're strength.
Yeah, like the cavalry spears. Yeah.
And so, and my idea here was just to push, like, because a lot of you, and he's got like you can see there's a unit of Glade Guard right at the back of the board and stuff. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go all the way up and just sort out what I'm going to do next turn, because I just didn't want those stupid thing where everyone starts running around behind you. You know what I mean? Like just doing that elvish shit. And to be honest, I was close to just going 16 wide of my poor boys as well. But I was like, I think I think,
so you've only gone 12 wide?
Yeah. Because I just, but I wasn't sure because he also put his Wizard and stuff behind his little paper forest there. And I was like, I don't know. Anyway, I think I got a turn 1 charge off or whatever on the War Dancers defending that little wall thing. And I got them. I got Here We Go off as well on the big unit. I think I even might have tried a big charge, but they failed because when it was still pretty far, and then you got to take the lowest dice and all that sort of shit. But I just tried to YOLO, see what happened. And I decided to have my Martog's Basher guy up against his Dragon a bit to see if I get into combat with him, because he's the one with the weapon skill 7, and I'm still -1 to hit, but at least I'm, it probably doesn't make much difference. But then Josh comes up clutch over on the left here. So
you can ride me, mate. I'm there. I've always been there for you.
He took the charge, but he did it with the Wild Riders and the Treeman. Josh proceeded to I think I got the swing with club, whichever one it is, the D6 plus. I basically wiped the entire. He put 4 wounds on me, but then I wiped all the Wild Riders. And then proceeded to kill the Treeman in the next turn. I think it was. Kill the Treeman. And then out of
Josh going to town.
I can't remember what happened, but at some point he also got those Deepwood Scouts before he went down as well. You did go down.
Andrew would have done that. You're lucky you took Josh.
Went down in Blaze of Fire.
So it wasn't a BSB. Well, actually, you could argue there might have been a banner in the Wild Ride unit, but he I couldn't believe he held that entire sort of flank.
The whole flank, Treeman, Wild Riders, Scouts.
Yeah, see, like he overran. I think I did get a go and I got them, but then I think someone else shot him. He eventually went down, but that was pretty cool. He did a lot on that.
How he did.
The issue over on this side was bad positioning. Anyway, so I can't remember the exact ordering here, but anyway, his Dragon ended up getting into this unit, which I wasn't unhappy with initially, because I thought, they can sort of hold for one sort of go. This is probably when I'm starting to regret going, well, I should have probably put him in bigger ranks, rather than like lose the rank. I only get one rank though, anyway. But I sort of got a bit greedy and went to try get his mage, and of course then he threw like another forest in front of my guy, and I sort of was like, I went in there going cool, and then he's like tree singer, and I'm like, and I think I might have been in range to dispel, but I failed it, and then he put the fucking forest right in front of my guy. I was like, damn it. so I was just like, I'm still not used to play. This is my first time playing elves. I hadn't really played elves or ogres, and I got to play them all, which is good, but I'm still learning.
Wood elves. First time playing wood elves.
Yeah, you played high elves a lot, man.
Yeah, so yeah, wood elves, man. Yeah. Anyway, he ends up chewing through these for a few turns. They run away. I think they bumped through all the way. I think that's some of them all the way back there. Oh, sorry, here they are. They're Fabigoed and come back in.
Oh, okay,
but I think on the next turn they Fabigoed again, and he gets in the. So that's the next game. It's right at the end. We only got through 4 turns, as you do probably against Wood Elves sometimes. He Fabigoed just enough to bump through my wyvern, and he's dragging on in the ass of my wyvern. I was like, oh, fuck. And then he killed him. I was like, oh, right at the end. And so it went to a fucking 12-8 loss. And it was sitting easy in that 10 range, I think. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I've held out and then fucking lost the track. I mean, my wyvern in the last at the bottom of his turn. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. It is what it is. I could have done some better positioning, but yeah.
How do you think it would have played out if you got him the whole 6 turns?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm up here trying to get I was about to go into his wizard up here with my wyvern, and I was bringing back my other boar units to get involved. But yeah, losing that wyvern sucked.
Yeah, it sucks.
To be honest, I don't think he killed him. I think he just did enough, and I failed my panic and ran off the board. Like flew off the. Because you could, I think, I can't remember. I don't think he wiped in one go, but it just, whatever happened, he ended up going off the board. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a big Fabigo. I can't remember. But yeah, it was it's just like, wow, I just lost. Like it was like, I thought I was going okay. And then it was just that last turn. I lost that big unit and the wyvern, and just the amount of points that is. What's that? Like now 800 points. So it swung from somewhere I thought I had it, and then went the other way. And I went, oh crap. I think that's just what happened. We were going into turn 4, and it was like, and I just started to rush, and that sort of got a little bit probably haphazard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's what it is. Like I probably should have protected that dude a bit, or got out of the range so that wasn't going to happen. And it came back to bite me. So that's how I play. But all good. So I was a little annoyed, 2 losses down, but only 3 points. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, I haven't had a massive smashing, so I'm not like down the bottom. I'm still sitting. So, yeah.
Right. Round 3.
Round 3. So in the dizzy heights of round 3, I ended up against, oh no. Where's my presentation gone?
Oh, where's your thingo?
Oh no.
While they're doing that, I'll just bring up all those cool comments about Josh. Yep, Josh is on fire. Unless you already did. I don't know. Josh is on fire. And Alex saying, really makes me want to bring out the giant.
Not responding.
Yeah. Oh, is it like
the window? Like game 3? And I'll do my
but this is the one I don't really have many pictures of. So if you don't mind, I can.
I've got 2 pictures, I think, of game 3 as well.
I don't think I had many anyway. So I went up against ogres, and I'll get his name right because I don't want to screw the last name up. Where did he come? So I'm just Nicholas Viard. That's it, Viard. That's it. And so Nick is French, and you can tell he's French, and he speaks French, and it's cool. Anyway, and then just before I go, I'll just tell you the funny story. I'm talking to Andrew at dinner, and we're going through, and he's like, "Yeah, I played the ogre player, the French list," and we're talking, and he would describe his shit. He's talking about stone horns. I'm like, "There's no fucking stone horns. What are you talking about?" And so if you guys looked at the lists. James's list is all done French. It's so funny, like all the names of all these.
Isn't that with all the waiters and butcher, like
they're all
French
chefs and
like
stuff.
chef names? Yeah, that's it.
It's all French. James isn't French. Nicholas is French, and he's also taken ogres, but his list is in English.
Yeah,
It was just the weirdest
we're
thing.
talking
I don't
about the
know,
same
they-
guy. For so long.
It was the bizarrest thing.
Yeah.
It was like- but anyway, so all cool. Yeah,
that's funny.
Nicholas was really good, but yeah, sorry, I didn't get heaps of pictures on this. He's got apparently a lot of this stuff's original Forge World models too. Like even that giant's the original bone giant, the bone grinder giant. What was third mission, man? Was this the can't remember. There was something different about this one. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh, sorry. No, it was one with
the most dangerous card.
Oh, yes, we had to put a flank out. That's right. I ended up putting 1 unit of Boar Boys and my Chariot and my Martog Big Basher on the right flank, which ended up matching his left flank with just like his bulls. I don't think the giant is in that. I can't remember. And just like a small unit Tusker, like the hunter dudes. There wasn't, this one was hard because there wasn't like, I think we were playing these as impassable and stuff. So the big unit in the middle with the giant, and then over on the left, which wasn't obviously in the left flank because you couldn't be in there, the other unit of orcs. And then, I just thought, like in my head, I thought I might be able to like get a counter charge off on those, like get a charge off on the Mornfang, or if not, get a counter charge off on them. Then I realized I'd probably get nailed if I got charged, even with the counter charge, because of all the impact hits they get. So I was a bit worried about that once we still started to work it out, but I had to get rid of some chaff first. So tried to get through that. I'm just trying to remember what happened here. Turn 1 charge did his hunters, and he's a good player, just fled them, and I've stuck right in front of his bulls there. And then I just moved up to sort of, if he was going to take them, then I'll come in and try and get his dragon, not his dragon, his giant and stuff like that with my wyvern. And then we proceeded, and then I think I just pushed. This is where I went up thinking I'll just do a counter charge because he fled with his little what are these guys called? Trapper? What are they called? The little ogre dudes, little ogre goblins.
Are they trappers?
The trappers. Oh yeah, but they're
Noblars.
That's it. Yeah. They fled up a bit, just taking some shots, stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't get a turn 1 charge or anything off on those guys. Anyway, they've got the thing is here where my leadership 8 comes back to bite me in this game. They've got they've all got like terror. There's some ogre magic item where you get terror. And of course, every time he charged my orcs, they fled. Like I just
no leadership.
Which really got me a little bit. And then I tried to get then I couldn't stop this. I mean, I had the long dispel, but you don't always get it off. He miasmed my big unit, which I thought that would have been, even though he's ogre bull, like his tyrant and stuff is in there, but I mean they're all just the infantry, you know what I mean? Like I'll go in with my big unit, but he did manage to get the miasma, which really sucked on that. Is what it is when you're playing against Illusion. And then what happened over here? Looks like I don't know where that orc ball unit maybe he did kill something. I can't remember. Here's this left flank. So just quickly, this left, he charged, I ran, I rallied, I went to go back, he charged me again, I ran. It just kept going all the fucking way. But I didn't run off the board. It was so frustrating.
Right. Nice. Well, that's okay.
And then but I just couldn't
occupy you.
And then I brought my wyvern over. I sent Josh in. Sorry, Josh, you went into these guys because I was just like that.
Did you ever send me into those? It's scary unit.
The over on the left though, I did try to get my wyvern over. I got, I think I might have. Did I get Itchy off? And then I failed my charge with my warband again. And that was a doable one. It was really annoying because this was just after. This is right near the end where he tried to charge me again after I rallied on luckily because I'm right on the edge of the board. And then I thought, geez, if I get this charge off and I get him in the rear, then this will be right because then I'm okay to squish that unit. And I just failed my charge. It was just like and it was probably like needing a sevens like on the dice, like we swished right, and I still failed it. But it is what it is. It's still long enough where it wasn't a given. Yeah, Josh, you must have got killed at one point, and I got that unit in.
Well, he just sent me into that massive Death Star, so
yeah.
I refuse to take responsibility for my death.
I think I eventually got tuned through all these other guys up on that side, and I think his Giants goes as well. And it ended up at 10-10. I was pretty just straight down the middle, that one. He took a bunch of my stuff and I took a bunch of his stuff, but yeah, it was sort of, and I didn't take as many pictures, man, sorry. So after game 3, you're just so buggered. It's just like, can't remember, but yeah, it's just over here. I was just, I couldn't believe
early start.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think I would have got evaporated anyway if I didn't run away. So they probably.
No, I think that's
the fact that they were terroring. I probably should have been fleeing anyway, so it was probably okay because I just kept them busy. But I just didn't get that wyvern over there in time. So, maybe I should have sent Josh that way and then the wyverns over the other way. But is what it is in hindsight. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, but 10-10. At least I didn't lose 3 in a row. I went, okay, I'll take that. Are you ready, Andrew? On your?
Can I throw up
2 seconds ago?
Well, while you're doing that, I am going to occupy things. Oh, it's actually going to work. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared properly. Hold on, let me just do a work in progress. This is a share from the Discord group.
Yeah. Do you want to bring one down?
Bring yours down. Thanks, Gommo.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened there? Oh, did you click it?
No.
What the hell? It keeps coming back. What's happening?
There we go. Yeah, this is Ghost. He's put up the ground clean one. It's looking really nice.
That is
incredible.
Good.
I think I remember.
No, I was just going to say that basing stuff is what I probably want to do with my demons. That bluey sort of
that looks
glowy
awesome.
shit sort of
that
stuff.
That is so good. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get some tips on that one.
Next
level. What model
really
is
nice
that?
OSL on it. I actually have no idea where the models come.
Yeah.
Oily boy. There you
That's
go.
like an original one,
that's sort of like a Nurgle version of the monolith if you have a look at like the bottom part of it, don't you reckon? Yeah. Like it's open.
How come everything you see right now is in context of monolith? Got monolith on the brain, Gommo.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Rescale minis.
The behemoth's on.
Oh, rescale. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
This is the benefit of this live because otherwise we'd be none the wiser.
Yeah.
None the wiser. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty incredible. All right. Keep going. Keep going, Andrew. Round 3.
All right, round 3. So I was hang on, let me zoom into mine. So I was against Matt round 3. So I think Matt was sort of similar, higher level sort of player back in, I believe, 8th. And I've played him once before in 9th, and he was quite he did quite well. I think it was like his first 9th game, and he podiumed, or he was somewhere in the podium mix, which is pretty good for your first 9th game. So yeah, he was running Dark Elves, and it's got a very shooty list. So I'll hit up Matt's list quickly. Yeah. There was a few Dark Elf players, I think, that were quite interested to see what he was running. It is pretty good. I haven't seen it before. I'm not too up to date with competitive High Elf lists, but this one is actually a really good list. I'm not sure of its origin, because if Matt came up with this, I'd say, yeah, hats off. It's a really good list. He's running a Dreadlord on a Black Dragon. I think he had like Talisman Protection, and he was like maybe running, I think, like a -1 to hit, and he had like maybe a 3-up, 5-up or something like that. He was running a Wizard level 2 on a peg with the Ruby Ring, Sorceress level 4 also on a peg, and those two were just running around just causing havoc. Core, he was running 10 Dark Elf Crossbowmen, 10 Dark Elf Crossbowmen, 2 lots of 6 Dark Riders. I really like those Dark Riders. I reckon they're awesome. He was running just 5 Shades, which he put in the forest there, right in the center. 2 lots of 7 Doomfire Warlocks. So these guys, they can do like choose a single spell from Dark Magic, or I think it's
Demonology.
Yeah. So those,
and they haven't been
nerfed. Like we got that wrong, didn't we? Yeah, they haven't been nerfed at all. Just as is, no one cares.
Plus 2 to cast. I think the summoning from Demonology is what he's using on both. So it was like 2d6, strength 4, or maybe -1 AP or something like that. So yeah, they were just, man, these guys were, they're good. And then he had a bolt thrower. So that's his list. We were going through pretty good. I'll just give you a little hint. It started going a bit south, and then it was just like all hands on deck. So unfortunately, I've only got 2 pitches because
it's always a bad sign
this time of day, because Matt was helping me out with all my mathematics when it was coming to adding or subtracting modifiers for shooting. He was all over it. I'm just like trying to add shit up, and he's like, yeah, blah blah, just smash it out. Anyway, so it was, like we said, the one where you had to pick the 2 flanks where you wanted to deploy. I picked the left. Matty picked, he ended up picking both. I looked it up later, and then I didn't realize you could do both.
I don't reckon
you think you can only do the one. It didn't change anything because he only deployed on one anyway, so it was fine. So yeah, it didn't change the game at all. But yeah, so he ended up on facing down my left flank. So on my left, I had Malign Chariots, Creation Woodsman. I had Creation Woodsman. So 3 units of Creation Woodsman, an Eagle behind that. On my right, I put in both my units of Sisters were like well far off to the right, and I ended up putting my Scouts far to my right. You can't even see him. So there's a unit of 8 Creation Woodsman right out to my right, because I had to put my Scouts down first, and then he basically put his Scouts down on his right in front of the rest of his army. So I had this unit out there just doing nothing, just to deny, the 12 inches. And then towards the center, I had my Dragon, my BSB, my Mage, and the little 3 combo Creation Woodsman and 2 units of Sisters on a hill. Right in front of that, I had the big Pizza just doing nothing except getting in my way. And his whole army,
block, though, if for an army coming through, and that's all difficult, like all dangerous terrain or difficult.
Yeah. If they're coming at you, definitely.
But not this army.
It gets in your way. So you got to put it down before deployment. Maybe I didn't even use this to my advantage. Sometimes I'm just like, I made up my mind where I was going to deploy and put this beforehand, not really thinking where it's going to go could change deployment for the other opponent, if you understand me.
Yeah.
Or possibly it's something that maybe, I'd say definitely you could use to your advantage, or else I don't think I was as much as what I could have. Anyway, so turn 1. I don't know if I started or he started, but it was just a bloodbath. So we just started shooting each other. As you can imagine, Matty, jump in if I get anything wrong. He was sort of, coming out with a few bits and pieces at me, and I was just shooting him, mainly just to get stuff in range. He had on his far right his 2 units of Doomfire Warlocks. He kept him marching column, so like they're literally just there to move and shoot spells. Yeah. And then the 2 units of Dark Riders were in front of all that, and then he just had all his shooting stuff and his Dragon on his far left. And he had his 2 pegs on his right, and they were just the sorcerers and whatnot were just, you'll see. That was just smashing me. So, on the left, it was a little bit of a bloodbath at the start, but obviously he was out shooting me. So this is the only second shot I've got. So Matty can probably try and help me out. I was shooting quite a bit on the left. Yeah, and I ended up taking out his Dark Riders, I think.
I just said that. I think you took a Dark Rider unit first turn.
Maybe, sweet. And then it was I think it was turn 2. So he's sort of come up and then put his drag. Oh, sorry. No, I decided, all right, I'm going to get destroyed here. So I thought, well, I'll put my dragon up a little bit just to see.
Like take the focus off.
Yeah. Where I can go sort of thing. Yeah. And basically, he's sort of had a few juicy targets in range. So he had might have been the Dark Rider unit. It was a unit, of crossbowmen. And there was like a unit of his war machine. So he had his bolt throw as well. So they were sort of in range, and then he sort of put his dragon in position for a bit of a overrun. So sorry, not an overrun, into a charge arc of my dragon if I was going to charge those units. Right. But I was at a point where I need to charge something. So my thought process was I charged his war machine without even looking up the rule. And for some reason I thought you can't flee from a war machine, but you can. So yeah, he's fled with his war machine. So
I thought someone said you couldn't, but that could be right, because I didn't look it up. And what they just moved? Do they? What do they do?
Oh, they just fled. I think you just flee. Okay. Yeah. So he's just fled. And then I've gone for obviously try to redirect my charge. I went into his crossbowman. I wouldn't think he was going to flee, because I was like, oh, if he does flee, there was a chance it was going to go off the board possibly. But yeah, he did. So he fled with both units. And then obviously now I'm
stuck
right in a nice position in front of his dragon. And I've already taken 2 wins from shooting at this point, just through, I forget what it was, but various shooting and or magic. On the left, you can see my chariot got blown up. That was the first thing to go. And then you can also see the amount of templates he had. So he had all these templates going around. There was like 3 templates. I was just trying to remember. Oh, yeah, sorry. So when I was charging the dragon into those units as well, I thought I was going to put some magic onto the dragon. That was my thought process. But then I got a little bit carried away and started like into the charge phase. And then, yeah, I said to Matt, was he comfortable with me doing that? And he said he wasn't, because it was like, high level playing and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So I missed out on dispelling stuff if I could with some of the templates. And then obviously I missed my magic phase in this turn. So kind of sucked a bit, because I was like, oh, if I could debuff the dragon, even if he does sort of flee and he gets up my rear, I was like, oh, I could still be in a chance, because I had like an ogre blade. So yeah, we went past that. It was the next turn. He ended up, what happened? I think I forbigoed and I turned around with my dragon. So yeah, he won combat, took a few more wounds off me. I think I was down to maybe, 3 or 4 wounds left or something like that. My dragon, his 2 units of, what are they called? Doomfire Warlocks. They just kept popping away. So yeah, I fled with one of them. And then, yeah, the other ones were just getting absolutely massacred by the magic missiles, because they only had like a 6-up. And obviously the power in having these guys is as skirmishers. They don't look like it. They all look like they're in lines, but I had them all in, the 0.1 mil skirmish formation. So yeah, magic missiles don't care about that. So they were just getting absolutely smashed. To the right, I was just trying to do what I could do, but he just kept moving back, and I was sort of shooting where I could, but I couldn't get enough wounds off really to do too much damage. And then, yeah, so what happened the next turn is, again, I think we were sort of going into like the charge phase or something like that, or the movement phase. And again, for some reason, I've completely forgot my fucking magic phase again. So yeah, again, I asked, and then like, yeah, Matt said, oh, he wasn't comfortable with it. So I'm like, yeah, high level player, whatever. So we just kept going on with the game. And then I realized the other thing I forgot in the movement phase, because you go to move all your units. I'm like, oh, I had a unit fleeing. And as well. And I said, oh, sorry, I forgot to rally them. And he wasn't comfortable again. So they just ended up continue fleeing and they went off the board. So a couple of things I forgot in the order of what they're supposed to do sort of really hurt me in this game.
That's so annoying day 3 like that. I mean, game 3, you just like your brain just goes through.
Yeah, man. If you got brain fuzz, if you're in those competitive games, sometimes it's just like, you know, if your opponent's uncomfortable with you going back and trying to do a magic phase because you missed it, I mean that's fine on him. That's fine. I can't argue that. But yeah, it does punish you. So he ended up taking out my dragon at that point. So I was able to do, he might have gone first with his guy on top, did a couple more wounds. And then I did, with my Ogre Blade, ended up doing 6 wounds back. I was like, holy crap. I was like, whoa, I hope I survived. But unfortunately, it ended up being that, because obviously 6 wounds, I'm like, I think he might have got 3 wounds on me and I only had 4 wounds left. So I was hoping I might have won combat in that and was able to maybe turn around and go first and kill him. But yeah, it wasn't. He ended up getting the last wound off me with his dragon, and then my guy's dead. My entire left flank collapsed. His dragon sort of turned around to my right flank. I was just trying to conserve some points to a certain degree, but I think I had like my BSB and maybe a few units left over towards the end. And yeah, it was a bit of a massacre, and I got a few units out of his, but not heaps. So the score ended up being 17-3 at the end of that. And so that obviously propelled Matt. I think it was up on top table, I think, next turn. And then, I sort of went back into the mid tables. So, that was the end of my day 1.
Trying to come down to where I am. That's what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yes, with the rallying timing, how far down into your turn was it when you remembered you were supposed to rally?
Yeah.
Like, how far was it?
Oh, no, I was into the movement phase. So.
Because rally's in command phase. Yeah.
Yeah, rally's right at the start.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's the end of the.
It's
the end.
I know it's a tournament, but I would totally let you have that.
Well, you know what's funny? Like I'm all cool
at the same time.
That's right. Yeah, like you can't argue.
Somebody wants to.
No, you can't argue it. You can't argue it.
But you know what the funny thing is? We'll talk about this later, and we're like, but if you forget it, does that mean I have to move the troops? Fuck that. If I can't rally, then I'm not moving them either, because we forgot to move them.
Oh, right. Do the flea move as well.
I mean, it's like. If we forgot about moving them and forgot about rallying, they stay where they are.
It was sort of one of those things. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's any hard and fast rule about like. It's kind of you don't go back, but it's up to your opponent. Like, it's just
it's a subjective thing. Yeah, it depends how long ago it was, how many other things there's any important decisions that were made that might have been affected by it. It can be unreasonable sometimes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
if
it's I don't know.
But it's tough.
Those ones was that long.
But
like in a tournament scene, I moved on. So it was just like if he wasn't comfortable, that's where I'm like, oh, if you're not comfortable,
as long as it happens near the beginning and you know what game you're playing, it's it's the game you're in. Yeah. But it's funny.
Yeah, like Matt said, like his ETC level, so you know. For them, that's the way they play. So they're playing in that real competitive sort of position, and then I think that's what top tables. That's the difference.
It's the little things that can make it. Yeah,
it does go from top tables. It does get because they are going ETC in positions, and at the end of the day, there are rankings. People want to be in rankings, so it's like it's competitive. If people want to be competitive, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you can't.
That's
right.
That's right. Yep. And I think as long as the people they're playing know who they're playing against. Like it's probably a bit of an ass if you do it to someone who's like just starting out. Like I don't do that, but I guess someone like Matty's probably not playing those people unless it's maybe turn one.
Yeah. If it's someone's first or second game and you start like,
yeah. But Andrew, you're at the top there. You were close to it, so you deserved it. No, mate.
Yeah. That happens winning your first 2 games, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your game 4?
Oh, you can keep Altain now. No, go, Gommo. Gommo, you do your 4. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I voted Rich as well for, well, actually, I don't know if Andrew did, but for best sports because I played his gyrocopter spam list as well.
Oh, I did too. I voted Richard as well.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
he was
just so
good. He was so fun to play with. And he was helping me out so much because I was just like,
yeah. And it was this. I don't know. There's a few games at Old World that I've had that were. I don't know. I feel like Old World, as much as dragons and all that sort of shit, it's almost is balanced. And this is probably what I was getting at. Like, it's getting close to balance. Where, like, I think in turn, and some of the guys were at the tournament, so let us know. But I swear, when you looked at the scores for round 3. There was like 10-10, 10-10, 10-10, 11-9, 10-10. Like, it was like, obviously there was people either, like they were all, it was fairly even. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was really, there wasn't a lot of these 20 zips and stuff. So anyway, I was, what did I do here? This was the, the reserve one. We're going to roll that stupid one, which is probably a bit annoying. I think I lost my, a chariot and my Mortag Best Basher Wyvern with a 1. So I put my yellow banner or one right up here so I could sort of get around this, and because like you deployed 6 inches. And I didn't know 100% where he was going to go by the time I put them there, like because he had more drops because of all these freaking gyrocopters. But I figured maybe his war machines might be along there. So like I was able to like peek around and they got 19-inch charge. So I thought that might be good for them. And then they can just roll along the back. And then just went down, put Josh in the middle for some reason. Unfortunately, Josh always ends up near a forest. Sorry, man, but I don't know. He's what it is.
Forests.
Not really sure. It's probably the best thing. It's because I need room to put my ball boys to get past the other one. So I was just like, I don't know. And they're over there. And then, so I can't even remember where all his gyros are, to be honest, but there's a bunch. Oh, because, 2 of them were off in reserve and 1 unit of his warriors were. His other unit was there and all his characters. So the characters he had was like the BSB with the grungy, combat res one. And then a runesmith, and then obviously gyrocopters, 2 more gyrocopters. But he was so close to putting his cannons down there. I should lie. I didn't know where his. By the time I put my boar boys, he hadn't put them down. Is that right? Yeah, hadn't. I think. But he was still tempted to put him there, and then eventually went because I think I reminded him that I had like a further charge range on those guys. So so anyway, he put his cannons and his stuff all behind the forest here. But I mean, it's a little annoying because he doesn't have heaps of targets, you know what I mean? Like until I pop out, I guess, with my giant from there. And then his Doomseekers are, doing their stuff in the middle of the board. What I do. So, I mean, again, you're just pushing, trying to get through these freaking Doomseekers. They're annoying because they're like, they're in the way, and then you just end up having to if you don't charge them, they'll charge you, and then
if you can't shoot them, you're in trouble too. They do damage.
Yeah, so like this guy here, I believe, I don't know if I got the pictures on it. Like I did charge him and just went through. But with Josh, I just like ignored it and then thought, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And he charged me. I ended up killing him. But he can do a bit of damage.
Go for it.
Yeah. And obviously his gyros pop back over the top, and then obviously just you can see I think I was losing like 2 or 3 balls from every unit, like every shooting phase. It's like it's like then what happened here? I mean, the plan here is I'm just going to try and have to get through this.
Yeah,
it's almost like I don't know. I felt like it was almost like ignoring the gyrocopters and just trying to like cram through to get to his units and just see what I've got left. That's sort of what I was thinking. The fact that those other unit wasn't there, that's why I sent my Wyvern this way to get a charge on his bolt thrower, because it sort of popped into the forest so I can see it. And then bring Mortag when he comes back on as well. So I've got the Wyverns coming around that right-hand side. and then just go through his units, like the actual infantry units. That's sort of what the plan was. And hopefully if the ball boys can get through there, sort of missing elementalism here, to be honest. I mean, WoW was fun, but would have been nice to have elementalism. But it is what it is. So I'm getting, again, I'm losing ball boys, but it is what it is. Where did we get to? But anyway, Josh gets through, he kills that thingy, that Doom Seeker, and then does get a big charge off. So I figure if he's in combat, he's in combat. So he's got 3 wounds left when he goes into the Dwarf Warrior. They're just warriors, weren't they, Andrew? I think they were. Guess what I rolled for my attack there on the first one, though? It's pretty good. I think I rolled the 1 again or whatever it was. An 80s BSB. So he gets another BSB.
Another BSB down his pants.
Yeah. Or whatever, whichever one it was. Yeah. And then obviously the Stomp did a bit more. The cool thing, I think what happened, I think he got so many ball boys. I'm trying to remember what happened here. I got the ball boys into that unit as well. I think it might have been because, I can't remember if it was because he didn't kill enough or he did kill enough that I could actually sort of get in on the edge. You know what I mean? I think he kills enough when they get there that actually could fit in next to the giant, whereas originally I couldn't. And then he brought so it looks funny because these warrior units are still sitting there, but now they're actually on the board and he brought them in. By the time they came on, my wyverns were able to come around together, although actually it looks like he did. Why have I run away? I may have either fled or he did beat me by 1 and that fled, but they ran into the forest and I was able to then come back in. And I ended up eating that unit eventually. And then Josh killed that other unit, except I think he went down by, unfortunately, gyrocopters shooting him. And my big unit did get in there, so I've missed pictures, sorry. My big unit did get in there as well, killed him, ran off the board, came back on, and then the wyverns cleaned up the rest of his war machines. And then basically it ended up with my wyverns left and 3 units of his little scout gyrocopters, and they're just flying away. And so basically everything was gone except for, it might have only been these 2 actually, whatever it was. It must have been 3 units because it was basically a 10-10 again. So I was like, so everything else was gone but my wyverns, and everything was gone but some of these little 2 units of gyrocopters, which I just could not. Like we basically, I think this might have been turn 5, and he went, well, I'll just keep running away. Like basically we just, that's cool. That was fun. But yeah, it was just one of these games where it's like, I don't know, maybe that is good that it's 10-10 and everything got wiped off the board. Except for like a few little things left. It's just, no, it was good. Nice. And I gave him my favorite vote because he's just fun to play against, and
it was honest to a T. Like he was so good. And I try and like when I do, like if someone's sort of like moving stuff around, like I said, just something like later with with Dave, it was like I won't tell them directly if they've been around for a while, but sometimes you do something and they're like, oh, maybe like, you sure you want to do that? Like when they're moving a model or something like that. And I think he was definitely like that sort of thing. Like he sort of like really helped you out. It was like, oh, that guy's, you might be moving. He's like, oh, just remember that guy's got this range, or, Just really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. It was really good.
And that's what I was doing at the beginning with my orc. I was like, these guys are probably in range of those cannons if they go there or whatever. Yeah, like it's a long charge, but
you told me they vanguard, and just remember they vanguard and they can charge. You do.
It's really fun. It's just you just can't. It's fun, even though they're flyers. He's flying like it's just so hard to get. Obviously, he's skirmishing flies, so he just flies over my wyverns all the time. I'm like, fuck. Yeah,
I think you could tweak that list and just have like bulk MSU, and it would be so hard to kill because it's just gonna have like little units of thunderers around, and just because for me those even those little 5 units of quarrelers for me took a bit to get to. Like I committed shit to get it. Like it wasn't just I sent 1 unit. Like I had to send a few units. Like so
yeah, it's fun. But yeah, like I'm sitting there going, man, 3 10s, whatever it was, 2 draws, 2 losses. So I was just like, but then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm sitting like only lost 3. Like I'm only down 3 points from the middle. It's just
yeah.
It's the weirdest.
The comeback king.
Anyway.
All right.
I've had a few. Can I just pop up some of these comments going on? So Mark says, also feel Josh isn't working at full effectiveness, needs more pale coloration and cultist garb. Kit bash required.
Right, so I might have to get another. Yeah, I might have to redo the Josh.
I have to redo the completely do chaotic, the Josh time.
Yeah.
Entropy also goes channel wise. Josh stuffing them into his pants is more appropriate.
Absolutely.
Is that why I kept suggesting it? Because I kept going, in the pants, right, Gommo? In the pants.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But well, I won't break the joke. But yeah, so he's performing, even though he goes down. I didn't mind having him. Just wish they had Swift Stride.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Andrew, it's pretty much unanimous looking at those comments. Everyone's like, you should have been able to go back and rally test.
Look, you don't have to.
Rally test.
You don't have to. Like to me, everyone. If you want to, I'm on that plane. I'm not for or against, but to me, if you move on, it's sort of up to your opponent. I would argue the only thing I would have argued was probably the rally and the flee, because if you don't rally, you don't flee, because I think it's in the same phase. I'm like, well, if you both forgot that, then you kind of both forgot it. So it's sort of like one of those. But
yeah,
that's fine. It's high level.
Did I lose your camera, Josh, or do you do that regularly?
Camera. No, I've done that. I just shifted my keyboard a bit, and now it's gone.
I've had.
I might have to log out. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, that's fine. I'll hit that.
Say, Robert, Jelly saying, Gommo, tell me you want a bloody game. We're not all as good as you, Jelly, but maybe. I might have. We'll see.
Yeah. But I will say, like defending, I know a few people said some stuff, but like defending it is 9th age towards the end was very competitive.
It's a clinical game, isn't it? Especially 9th.
It was very clinical, and I've had people say, "Oh, you've moved on, you haven't done Magic," and they're like, "No." So if you're sort of playing in that sort of game, and then maybe you come back to something like Fantasy where people are a bit more relaxed. Sometimes I played 9th as well, so sometimes I feel like I get to sort of thing to my own detriment as well. So sometimes you do just need to, where do you come from? What have you been exposed to? If you are high ETC level, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I can't bag a guy for that personally. That's just me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just hit this.
You won't forget your Magic phase, will you? So again,
I'm hoping I won't forget my Magic phase, but you never know. After a few beers, now. Sorry, am I on screen?
No.
No.
You're on screen, but not this thing.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah.
So this is game 4, day 1, because I'm behind Gommo because my fucking Explorer keeps crashing. So I was playing Michael, a different Michael, dwarf player. Where was I? Michael George, just Dwarf Mountain Soldier, standard list. I've played him before, and he was playing dwarves as well. And he's real fun to play against. Is just funny, quirky guy. So we had a bit of fun on this. I'll go to his list quickly. So obviously he's just running the standard dwarf holds list. He had 2 units of fire. Oh, sorry. I got this completely mixed up with Richard's list. So Michael's running the 2 units of 5 quarrelers, and these guys
I wonder when you said that. I was like, I don't know if
got myself. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I didn't have quarrels, but
yeah. So he's running the king is on shield bearer. He's got like 6 wounds. He's got Master Rune of Grommel for a 2-up, Rune of Preservation, so multi wounds don't do anything, and Master Rune of Smiting on his great weapon, which is D6 wounds. Woo. He's got a Rune Smith running the Master Rune of Grugny, giving him a 5-up, I think, 5-up ward. And he had 3 runes of spell breaking. So he wasn't taking any shit that first couple of turns with 3 runes of spell breaking. 2 units, 5 quarrelers, He's running 28 clan warriors. They got Grommel Great Axes, Rune of Passage, Rune of Battle, Drilled, and Stubborn. So they're pretty good, these guys. He had a Dwarf cart, 14 Hammerers, 10 Iron Drakes, with the Troll Hammer Torpedo, obviously. So on my left, I just had like my Woodsman. I had Lion Chariot, and then that was facing up against, he had his Quarrelers. In the center, I just went like Woodsman, Sisters, just all my shooting stuff. And that was basically facing, and that was like literally all my shooting. And that was facing against his, he had his right in the center. What do you have? His unit Hammerers. He was running his Anvil of Doom. He had his Dwarf cart. He's running his Iron Drakes and his Dwarf Royal Clan Warriors right in the center. So they're all together. And then right on his left, who was running his Quarrelers. See how many. I think I've only got 3 shots of this. So basically, I put my dragon and everything on the right side because I didn't want to go anywhere near his king. So I thought my battle plan was going to be take out the Quarrelers, try and get through that big unit of, because they're worth like 400 odd points, the Royal Clan Warriors, 28 of them, and then obviously take out his Iron Drakes and all that, and then pretty much just leave that Hammerer block alone and see if I could just win by points. So this was into, I think, like turn 2 or 3. His Quarrelers just would not go down. I was just shooting at them. I sent on the left, I took Woodsman and the Lion Chariot straight at that. He was also running his Anvil of Doom. The Magic Missile was just going to town on me. He was running his Hammerers straight down at me, but I just sort of ran away, just doing the elf tactics. So I was just jumping out of the way sort of thing. So unfortunately, it was just one of those lists where, because I'm a skirmisher, I had the mobility. So I was just sort of getting out of the way of the Hammerers where I could. And then on the right, I was just chasing everything down. So I was trying to get the points for Quarrelers, his big Royal Guard unit, and the Iron Drakes. So yeah, this was.
Did he like send that massive unit up? Like, was that what that was? That like the Hammerers units was.
So the Hammerers are right in the middle. Or? So probably didn't explain that very well. So he did the old maneuver where dwarves can do probably what Day After Dark does. So he drills the unit into marching column. He marches them down, and then basically he does you get another move spell from the anvil, and he marches them down again. So he was like right in the middle of my lines, but just because they're dwarves, they don't have that much, even like charge range. You know, you're looking at 9 inches. 9. It's not hard to get out of the way with skirmishes. So I was just able to just move around the unit. I was shooting it, but I mean, they got like a, I don't know, 4 up, 5 up or something like that. Like it was, and then he was just getting like the reroll armor. I took a couple of hammers off, but I just couldn't do anything. So this is where things turned a bit south. I took out everything on the right side. I pretty much killed everything, and then I got greedy, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go into his Anvil of Doom, just try and get rid of that, just to try and keep the hammers immobile. So I ended up going straight into his Anvil of Doom, and his Anvil of Doom has the Master Rune of Adamant, giving him toughness 10. I'm like, I'll get through that. You know, I got Ogre Blade. I just need a few lucky Ogre Blades. Just now, I got a Dragon Stomps. I'm going to get through this thing. You can see I got 4 wounds there. I charged into it. I had a combat. I had another combat. Did nothing. He's putting wounds on me. His hammer units made his way around. I think I got a push back a 3rd time. It was crazy. And his hammer unit's gone up my bum because I just kept losing combat and getting pushed back. And he sent his king in. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. The king's coming in. I've got 4 wounds taken. He just got a bit unlucky there, I think, Michael, on that last one. So when he So I was on the right side of that anvil, what you can see there. So basically, it's gone straight up my bum as I pushed back 2 inches, and then I did a by go, and that was enough to push. This is like turn 6 or something. It was enough.
And you bumped the other way over.
Yeah. Onto the other way. So it was my turn, and then it went into his turn, and he only had the 2 units left, and he couldn't charge me again. So this is where we ended the game. So my dragon's on the left side, and Michael's, he's a real cool guy, and I was sort of rooting for him to get that last wound, so get half points for the dragon, because he just did so well against it, but he only got 4. So we didn't get the half points. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we actually had you like there, really, but then it just, at least to get more points.
Either of those units. That adamant is so good on the Anvil of Doom. And those cameras were just...
I mean, not that I'm rooting against you, but oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I was too. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, Anyway, so that's where I was.
I didn't realize that. That's funny. Well, sort of. Maybe not for him, but that was game 4, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll finish this off going into game 5. And yes, I really wanted to win and not sit here on these 10-10s. And then for some reason I thought, so this is it, it's Kent, isn't it? Kent. Troy, sorry, not Kent. Troy Kent, I should say. With another Orcs and Goblins. So I just think that's such a good way to go when you're an Orc player to finish off the tournament.
Troy, is this Troy from 6th edition?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been around for quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
He's been a few
and for some reason, when I first saw him setting up, I thought he was the guy with the normal Orc list. But this is because I think there was 4 Orc players, but only all 3 were nomadic war, and there was a normal Orc list. But no, it's a nomadic war as well. And then I was going through it, and I realized, probably I actually don't mind this like my list, but I just didn't realize how A, I should know my rules, and B, there's also other cool stuff to add that I was like, oh, damn. So it's almost like I was running into things where I was like, oh, you've got that too? Oh, but yours is better. So, for example, like he's got like the Golden Chariots are in little units of 2, right? And I'm like, I have played, because I'm dumb, all my nomadic war games, especially against Andrew with his elves at toughness 4. Strength 4 chariots for my goblins, and I realized in their strength 5.
No.
I knew the entire time, and I completely missed it too.
I'm so used to them being in my head. They're still 8th edition ones and just using them for just throwing around. And I didn't realize, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no wonder you take 2 of them. Oh, I'm just dumb.
I
probably did read it at one point, but not.
Throwing them, your opponent's just like nodding. Like, I can't believe we both missed that.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, you're kidding me. And I worked that out. So I'll just quickly go through, like on this side. I sent I had my unit with the longer charge one sort of out on the left here. And because I at that point I knew he had some chariots out there. I went, that's cool, just countercharge him. They're only strength 4. I'm tough, like he'll do some to me, but you know what it's like when you roll 2d3. But I'm not realizing they're 2 strength 5s. And then sort of just put all my big ones in the middle. And he's got a big unit of big ones as well. Not as big as mine. I've got 2 more. He's a unit of 12, I think, and I was 16. But he's got the BSB in there. And for some reason, again, I'm going to say how dumb I am. I was doing counter charges with my BSB when I first did this list. And then I thought for some dumb reason when I was reading the BSB again, I went, oh, he doesn't have counter charge. But then I forgot. So I took him out, but it didn't matter. I wasn't going to bring the BSB anyway. But in my head, I was like, you can't countercharge with the BSB. But then I realized it's actually on the ball. I'm an idiot. So you can. That's what makes this list so good. So he's got the BSB in there with the war banner. So he's basically got he's got the big red radical flag. He didn't have the war banner, sorry. And he's got the +1 strength one. So he's got like fucking strength 6 boars. I'm just like, big ones. What was that? Just call them big ones. Yeah, big ones. I don't know how you say it.
The bigger ones.
The big ones. They're the bigger ones. But yeah, so his bigger unit, even though it's smaller, is strength 6 and like on the charts, but only strength 5. I was like, fuck's sake. It's like everything's slightly better, but a little bit littler, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And he's also got a black orc on a wyvern, and I've only got normal orcs on, but I've got 2 of them. So it's not too bad, but I was just like, oh, great. This is fun. But anyway, we pushed in. Yeah. So yeah, pushed up.
Can't wait to find out.
Because we're both nomadic one, want to get the charge off. It was like very much. I think the first 2 or 2.5 turns, we just moved in, trying to just give each other those long ones, but not wanting to fully commit. On the other side, yes, we did. Like this is when I realized my balls were going to get nailed. He didn't actually kill them all initially, but they eventually did, which is a little annoying. I went up. I sent one of my wyverns up to just start chase, killed some chariots, and trying to get rid of his wizard. Because the other thing he rolled up the spell for the +1 AP, so he just hung around those boy units, so he can give them. Now they got like strength 6 AP 3 on the charge. I'm like, fucking hell! If I charge in and he gets that in, like he's just going to wipe. He's going to take off so many more of my guys. So I was trying to get rid of that before I committed. So anyway, I was and ahhing. I don't know if I've got the picture here. Yeah, so here we are. So I'm sitting here going, I was basically going to send in this unit of smaller ball boys, like just push the shit out of them. This might not be the exact pitch. It might be one turn after, and give them, like basically push him in front of his unit. So basically he doesn't get his impact hits. But then when he charges, try flee, no, only use 2d6 and then know that I'm sort of, where's he going to be, and then countercharge with the wyvern and the big unit into him. But I didn't want to waste too much time trying to work out exactly where worst case I might end up when I die. And like, it was pretty dicey, like, because I would have had to I don't know if I'm explaining right, but I would have had to also reform my big unit to sort of get out of the way a bit in case I did roll a full 12 when I fled. Because I didn't want him obviously to get an overrun and all that sort of shit. So I was just trying to work that out. And so I piked out and went, well, I'll just see what he does next turn. Because I was like, I wanted to commit to sort of just fucking get it done, make some, do some damage, see what happens. So I didn't. And then he only pushed up a little bit. And basically gave me a better charge the next turn. So it's probably good that I didn't do it. But what's he saying? What are they going on about? You guys have to catch up. Now that I'm talking.
Sorry, I'm so distracted by these comments.
God/big ones.
This man had Danish big ones.
Anyway,
oh my god.
So we're just sitting around the board, not doing a whole lot. He got itchy off of my giant for a bit, got him down to toughness 4, and then he brings on these guys here as ambushes right behind me. I tried to get vindictive. Sorry, what was it? I tried to itchy them, failed to cast it, and then I blew myself, blew up here trying to get something like shooting him. So I was like sitting there just going, fuck's sake. But we were only moving up a little bit. But then, as I said, he moved that unit up just close enough where I just got the charge. So basically, you can see here, I did end up connecting with both of them, which is what I wanted. Obviously, he countercharged as well. And I just went, we'll just see what happens. At this point, his wizard hadn't got that AP one off. So I was like, yes, so at least at that point. I think it was probably smart to wait a turn, but I was very close to going, fucking just send it up, lose that other unit. It probably worked out better. And then I proceeded to roll so many awesome 5s and 6s for my saves that his impact hits didn't do a whole lot. And then obviously I just had more guys. I challenged, his BSB took it, and then let my wyvern just, So I ended up crushing that unit down to 3 guys. And then overran, and then by then my wyvern had got into all the other chariots. That unit that I didn't sacrifice was able to get into the orc, what are they called? The wolf riders. And then he also took this, which I thought probably wasn't the right move. I sort of put this chariot here to sort of go, well, charge it if you want, and he did, and it just wasted a whole 2 turns of him, because he charged it, had to reform. So I kept his wyvern out of there and was able to go through all these big units. And then it just fell apart, I think, after that. Yeah. So it was just that massive standoff for 2.5 turns. I think I even got his wyvern in the end. His other one. Yeah. They're mine up there. So I can't remember if I did or not. Maybe I didn't, but it ended up being a 16-4 win. So I did get a win finally. But for a second there, I was just like, are you kidding? You've got all this stuff better than me. Maybe I'm not going to get this one. But little patience, and it finally paid off near the end. So I was pretty happy just to bump up. And it ended up coming 7th overall just because I sat so much in the middle all the time.
Oh, wow.
So I'll take that.
You just kept picking up points every game.
Yeah, it's just all these other
up.
people killing everyone else 20-0 and setting them below me. So that was fun.
Yeah,
Speaking about patience, I'm glad everybody is being patient with us because I think me and Gommo said we're going to do these bat reps in like half an hour, and it's like,
nah, yeah, no, it's never going to happen.
It's probably we both love to ramble. All right, game 5 for me against Silver Dave. So yeah.
Oh, right.
West Sydney boys.
Here we go.
Loves jumping on.
Is he still on here? He was here, but maybe it's too late.
It was, but it's like 3 a.m.
It's pretty late. Yeah.
He wanted to get a bit.
I'm interested to find what don't do what Dave does, or this comment in the context of this ridiculous comment. I'm very intrigued. We're waiting for this all night.
Yeah, that's it. What's going on? What is going on? So yeah, Andrew and Dave. Towards the end. So we were both up towards the higher tables. And then obviously it was, I think, Paddy and Atka were on like a table, obviously chasing first. I think Maddie and Atka played before, and then Maddie was on with, I forget who Maddie was going against. They were chasing first as well. So they're all, those 3 were like really close to the top 3, obviously. And then, yeah, so myself and David, we were like well below, I think, those 3. Those 3 were like well above us, sort of thing. Like bunch of points. So anyway, David was running Bretonians. He was the only Bretonian player coming, which was quite funny because I thought there was going to be quite a few Bretonians, but there were quite a few Tomb Kings, as we saw. So he was running the Lady, Elise Duchard, in his list. He had the Josh can surely help us out here. So he had a Baron, Questing Vow, Knightly Temper, Bartered Peg, Sword of Might, Dragon Slaying Sword. So is that like the plus D3 on the charge attacks?
Yeah. Wait, this is the Temper? Yeah, Hatred.
Yeah.
D3. Yep.
So he was coming in with like Baron, 4 or 5 attacks plus his D3 or something. So
yeah, it'd be 4 plus D3.
Yeah, I think he had Hatred in there as well.
Yeah, with the it gives you hatred as well as the extra attacks. Yeah, gives you both.
That is good.
It is good.
He's running it. Yeah.
Especially when you're running the Ogre Blade with it.
Yeah. But he had the Dragon Slaying Sword. He's running a Duke with Virtue of Confidence, Royal Peg as well. That's the General. Yeah, sorry. Running the Ogre Blade, Paymaster's Coin for rerolls to hit for 1 turn. He's running a Paladin, Knightly Vow, Banner of Chalon, and on a Royal Peg. He had 6 Mounted Knights of the Realm, Gauntlet of the Jewel, Lodestone, 6 Knights of the Realm, Gauntlet of the Jewel, Lodestone. Not quite sure what they do. 2 units of 10. Okay, yes, sweet. 2 units of 10 Bowman Skirmishers, Peasant Bowman Skirmishers, 3 Peg Knights with a War Banner, 3 Peg Knights, Banner of the Honourable Warfare. So I think those ones that they charge you couldn't stand and shoot, and possibly if they had shooting weapons, they got to reroll.
That's the
one.
Yeah, the Chalon you can't stand and shoot. The Banner of the Honourable Warfare you reroll.
Yeah. So you had this one unit. It was just like, it was a little bit scary. You could say like, against shooting, they don't care. Basically, they're coming at you. 6 Squire Scouts and 6 Squire Scouts. So he didn't have the horn, which I was quite lucky. He didn't bring the horn because that would have definitely slowed down my dragon. It's definitely, I wouldn't say like a meta list. It was a hard list, and I think I obviously might have had a bit of a hard list because, I am towards the top table. We had quite a bit of MSU as well, and a big scary dragon. So we probably had maybe a similar sort of meta list in a sense. On my very far left, I had 2 units of woodsmen. At a forest on my left, in front of the forest, I put my pizza. To the right of the forest, I had my dragon, another unit of woodsmen. I had my BSB in his chariot. Behind that was my mage, level 3 on the unicorn. To the right of that, towards the right of my center, I had another unit of woodsmen. On my right flank, I had a big hill, and on that, I had a lion chariot. 2 units of sisters and 1 unit of sisters, and I had my 5 archers that can't stay on top of the shitty GW hill.
Hills.
They are terrible. And then on my very right flank, his very left flank, I was able to scout some woodsmen as well. He put a heap of this stuff on his right flank. So he put the majority, pretty much all his pegs, and 1 unit. He had a hill on his right flank as well, so he could kind of hide behind that for the first turn, so he wouldn't get shot. And then he had just to the left of the hill on his right, he had his unicorn, sorcerer. Alista Shard, and then he had his unit of knights. In the very, very center, he didn't have too much. It was a bit of a gap. And then more towards his left flank, he had a unit of knights, 2 units of bowmen. And they units of bowmen were basically facing down my scouts that came up in his back lines. So we actually got turn for turn. So we'll see how this goes. So that's our shot there, Dave. So good to play against. It was the best game. I loved it. Yeah, so this is turn 1. I think I went first by the looks of it. I've basically gone up. I wouldn't say he's super aggressive, but I was sort of gone up into shooting range of a lot of things. This is where, so a lot of people were saying Creation Woodsmen and Warbows are shit because they got like no AP, but the strength really does shine through against like some units. So, this is, you'll probably see what happens here. But for example, I was up against, what's he got? 6 Knights of the Realm. And they were facing off against a single unit of Creation. The Woodsman. And then also there was 2 units of archers in that sort of space. So I did have other stuff sort of shooting at them, but I was just able to, with the Creation Woodsman, they just went to town on the archers. So one of the units went forwards to try and sort of stem my right flank, and then my Creation Woodsman basically took out a full unit of archers except for one guy, which kind of went into chaff me. And I think at that point I might have taken off a knight or 2 from that unit, maybe 1. Oh no, it was this. Sorry, no, we'll hit that in a sec. On my left flank, he's sort of gone around on his far right, so my far left, and he's basically put all his pegs down. So what I've sort of, a full single unit of pegs, but that had the banners and whatnot where, you can't stand and shoot or wherever it is. So it was worth a bit of points. I sort of countered that by putting in my Creation Woodsman to a point where I'm like, I'll give him a charge, but I can flee and he's not going to be able to catch me, sort of thing. And because of that, I sort of moved my dragon over thinking I'll be able to get a counter charge. So I'm not sure if you thought I was going to flee or possibly didn't, but as a bit of added incentive, I think that was, he was baiting me. So what he did is he's put his peg knights in a way that my dragon's going to charge, and he's obviously right in his right flank. But then he put his Killy Monster Slayer Sword Baron ready with a counter charge. So I'm like, I'm between a rock and a hard place. I'm like, I thought at some point I'm going to have to go against this guy, obviously with the Monster Slayer. So I'm like, I'll see what happens. So I thought, well, look, I'll tell you what happens, obviously. So he ended up sending his pegs in on the left flank. And what I've done, I'll see if that comes up here, or is that too far gone? That might be too far gone. I'll just go through it and then we'll go through some. So on the left flank, ended up charging. He charged my Creation Woodsman right in front of them. They fled. He didn't have a second charge because I moved them back. My second lot of Creation Woodsman. So basically, his guys stumbled forward like I think 13 inches. Like it wasn't a very good charge to begin with. And it put it right in front of my dragon. I think my dragon only needed like a 10 or 11 or something. So my dragon was able to get in. And then my dragon charged in. And then I thought, all right, I'm going to overrun off the board because I knew I was going to win combat, push him off sort of thing, unless I was extremely unlucky. But I won the combat. And I was able, I think he Figoed off the board. And I thought, fuck it. I'm just going to save myself a turn and go off the board because he had his Baron there. And I'm like, well, hopefully his Baron's going to sit around and wait for me to come back on sort of thing. So that's what I did. I'm like, well, I'll do that. And then hopefully on the right, I can try clean up the rest of his army. So on the right flank, he ended up charging in on the very far right top. He had his Knights of the Realm, I think it was. I took a couple off standard shoot.
Yep.
We ended up going back and forth. But funnily enough, from Knights of the Realm and a unit of archers, I was able to take them off with the Creation Woodsman. So that was just one unit. So I'm like, these guys are actually pretty good. Towards the center, again, the Creation Woodsman were just able to pip off wounds. He had one unit of, second unit of Knights of the Realm. I was just able to just keep taking wounds off them. I was taking wounds off his Peg Knights as well. And then he sent his second Baron, the Ogre Blade guy, past everything and just sort of got into my back line. I'm just like, oh, here we go. Because his the pegs, they're obviously skirmish, so they can 360 line of sight. So he could do whatever he wanted in my back line. I'm just like, oh, here we go. I also ended up sending my Lion Chariot more center right, not the character, but the actual Lion Chariot, into the woods because it was getting shot up by a unit of archers. He went into the woods and he died. He had a couple of wounds taken off by the archers and then he DT'd and died. So it was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's gone. And then he ended up sending his pegs. He had one more unit of pegs hiding behind the hill. He was just keeping, in reserve. And he sent them up towards my center. And then he was just going against, I just had lots of Creation Woodsman everywhere. And it's a lot going against my center where I had Creation Woodsman and my Unicorn. So I think he was chasing that. So what I was able to do with that is basically with one of the, I think it was one of the, they Figoed or something like that or fled. And his Baron was actually able to get into charge range of my BSB on the Lion Chariot. So I was able, sorry, not his Baron, his Duke. So I was able to get my Lion Chariot into his Duke. And then we did a bit of back and forth. I think it took 2 or 3 turns, but I was actually able to kill his the Duke in the end.
Wow.
And it was funny because we went through the combat and then like he completely forgot like his pegs, his attacks. So we went back and did the attacks. And then because we're Figoed, I'm just like, I don't remember anything that actually happened because he did 2 wounds to me or 1 wound or something, 1 or 2 wounds because he's got 6 wounds. And we're trying to go back and like work out the combat res, but it worked out that what we did, it would have Figoed anyway. So we're pretty lucky in that instance. And then towards the center, basically I came back on with my dragon. I turned around to face his Killy Baron. And I sort of just was getting back into combat with everything, getting the points where I could. The guys in the center, he still had his 3 pegs and they were just going to town. They were just taking out people left, right, and center. But he was able to do his Elise Duchard was still at the back. She's still alive, causing me pain. But yeah, he what happened? Sorry, yeah, so the pegs were in with I think my sisters or something like that, and they fled or something happened basically, and he fled with the sisters. He chased the sisters which fled. They didn't actually go that far. and that unit in the center basically stood there because the sisters only went 5 inches, and because the BSB killed the Duke in the center, he turned around and he actually got a charge into the
pegs.
The pegs, yeah, and then
okay.
So it's got really, really lucky that the moons align, and because it's only they're not Swift Strider line chariots, so
yeah. And they're going into that dangerous terrain, or were they out of it?
Yeah, no, I think they were going into it.
Wow, that's good.
And no, maybe they were out. Look, I can't remember, but he got in, like he comfortably got in by a couple of inches. Because I think they fled out. So I think the sisters ended up in front of them or something like that. And then they came towards me a little bit. Anyway, going forward, so he ended up charging in his Baron, and he lost most of his units at this point. And he was really unlucky with quite a few like save rolls and things like that. Like poor Dave, man, he just was not having a good day. And he sent his Baron in, and his Baron's done. I don't know if it was like 1 or 2. It wasn't a huge roll, but he had like 1 or 2 extra. So I think he came in with like 6 dice to hit me. So obviously he was going first. He was waiting around for that charge, waiting around for me to come back on. He got into me, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, here we go. He's going to kill my dragon. But I was kind of rooting for him. I'm like, come on. He deserved it at this point. Like, shocker on the dice roll. So he's come in, he's done, I think he had
6 attacks.
Yeah, 6 attacks. Got 3 wounds in. It was like a 50-50 chance or something like that of getting a wound. He got one.
Wait, he only hit with 3 and he had hatred. Oh my God.
No, after that. It might have been 4, 3 or 4. I forget. 3 or 4 hits, and then went to wound, and he got 1 6.
Brutal.
Yeah.
You got a 6.
A single 6. Monster
You got a
slaying.
single 6. Well, that's reasonable outcome for that statistic.
That is. I got a 2-up save. I can't take it. I got a 5-up regen. I can't take it. I have a charm shield with a 5-up ward.
You're the charm shield.
Dead if I don't get a 5-up. Charm shield. This is like the last combat of the game, and I'm rooting for him. I'm like, I wanted him to die. I'm like, Dave, this moment after an absolutely I was just getting lucky and just the stars aligned, and poor Dave just was not having a good day. And then I just rolled it, and then I got a 6, and then I couldn't help but be happy, but I felt poor Dave just deserved that.
Amazing.
It's what you bring him for. It's what you bring him for. And he ended up, he died.
5 points.
Turned around. I think he came in for a wind blast, and he was going to push my dragon off. So he sent Alicia Deshard in to do a wind blast off the board, and I forget exactly what happened, but I think either I dispelled it or something like that. But it was like the perfect moment. He had that perfect moment. Then Alicia Deshard was going to wind blast him off the board. I'm just like, oh no, he's gone again, and the stars didn't align. And man, poor Dave, he absolute champion. Absolute champion. I love that game so much. And yeah, I'm sorry. Dave.
That was good.
It was a good
finish. Of the game?
He kind of, just because he came forward to wind blast me, he kind of gave me like a few points at the end. So I ended up getting a 20. But yeah, it was so fun. It was a great game, and it was just so swingy. I'm just like, I actually wanted him to get the dragon at the end because I'm like, oh man, but it's just he just didn't have like the 50% on a lot of those sort of units. So Dave was fantastic, and he gave me the center objective and everything, which I completely forgot about, and actually just
there's 200 points if you're in the middle of
it. Yeah. So yeah, he gave me a good score, and I think I ended up equal 4th.
Yes, you did. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
You came 4th with Mark Hurwitz. Poor Mark. So Mark's the guy at the beginning of the tournament that I was rooting for him to get a podium, because he hasn't had a podium on our ranking thing. And he came 4th again
last week.
But yeah.
Oh no,
he came 4th again. But yeah, Andrew tied with him, so Andrew's got 4. Our Andrew is sitting in 13th or something, mate, or 13th, 14th.
It's a couple of lucky tournaments. Other than that, I'm like getting wooden spooned half the time. It's either like third. No, I haven't got third, but I've got like, you know, 4th, 5th, or whatever it was, and then like I'm just like well down. It's just luck of the dice, literally.
That's been really good. Yeah, you're currently ranked like 14th, but also you're currently ranked #1 high elf player.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now that could be because this. Well, we just ran BCP, didn't you? Because so that maybe I'll leave it. I think it's picked up your list as being high elf, not creation war host. I'll have to check that. So maybe that has gone into.
Oh, maybe I'm #1 creation war host.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah, you probably would be too. So maybe I'll check that. Congrats, man. That's really good. Good result. And you're sitting in Masters. You'll probably be in Masters. Well, invited.
Yeah. But I'll be smack bang in a renovation. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'll get the brownie points for that. But I'll be going to Winter Hammer. I think we're both going to that, and that's going to be fantastic. So that would be good.
Yeah, and Mark asked you a question I was thinking as well. Yeah. How glad are you that you change your lists?
Oh, yeah. I would have been just. I wanted to. It's just, you know, just like, oh, I believe in you, but I don't. You start losing faith, and you're just like, oh, no. So creation was, but they're actually quite, because a lot of people said creation, they didn't think they were that good. I think they are pretty good. The Warbow strength 4 with, you know, it's pretty good shooting. Without AP, it's still getting through stuff. So
did you get elementalism, or were you running that? I can't remember. No,
I was running dark magic. Yeah, I was just trying to buff the dragon, so I was just trying to get that -1 strength toughness, or get the frenzy hatred.
Yeah,
with the ogre blade. Because when you could get those off, it was devastating. But you got to get them off. That's the issue.
Yeah. That was good. And obviously you played the winner because Matt came first. Was it?
Oh yeah, Matt dominated. He came first. I think Akar actually beat him, but Matt had another big game 5 against number 4 or whoever 5 or whatever it was. So yeah, he did really well. And then who was it? 4th Actor, wasn't it? And then Paddy?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Paddy jumped back to #1 in Australia at the moment. I think she's hanging on to that at the moment, which is interesting. And I think, so because we had that tournament, we also had another big one. The Arc was in Melbourne, wasn't it? So it's a couple of big scores ones, like 2-day ones, which is good. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I think it was always going to be like that going into that tournament. I knew, Paddy, Matt, and Paddy, Matt, and Akar.
Yeah,
it was going to be those 3 at the top. You knew it.
And I believe Anthony Solari with the Royal Host already played Actor like game 1 or 2 or something. Was it the other big sort of Tomb Kingy army?
Oh,
he's a good player too, but I think they sort of had already clashed pretty early.
Probably just similar list though. Yeah, I think they both did quite well. Like, as in, like, they're both good players. It's just Akers is a freak of nature.
Yeah. He's so clinical. You just watch him play. He just sits there, and it's like he almost doesn't know. Like people, like he's asking people what they. Oh, what does that do? Okay. Oh, what does that do? And then suddenly, just like takes it out.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He's on a different level.
People are ripping you off, Josh, that you need to play Old World. He's going to be in Mordenheim. Josh doesn't need it. You're like Actor. You don't even have to play that much. You just come out and just do 4-1 at a tournament or 5-0.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, the advantage Josh has is he plays one army basically, except for Slanesh now in 6th ed. But
yeah. But yeah, that's true. I've only played Brett's in the Old World, which helps.
Yeah. No, definitely. But definitely is a disgusting list, but he's the nicest guy to play with. So
no.
You let him. Yeah. You let him fuck you in the butt. He just smashes you.
Cool. Well, that was our games.
Yeah,
that was good. That was good.
No, it was great. It was great. Everyone's
read my army list.
The games. It was fun. It's just that first night.
Like it was a really good weekend.
Yeah.
So, Josh, have you got tickets yet for August?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, I have. I have some tickets.
Yeah, I like how he said that. I have some tickets.
I've got some tickets.
I've got some tickets.
What tickets?
I'm waiting.
That should be that'd be interesting. Actually, are you not going to tell us? Is that a big secret until you rock up? Day one.
I'm waiting till maybe we do another podcast episode with a certain someone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The reveal. The reveal.
Shall we do the Patreon shout-outs and stuff?
Well, we better, because that was really long. We missed some of them. Hey, is there
episode?
Yeah. Are we going to do patron shout-outs and maybe one or two? Do you want to do any questions and then just end it? Like, as in close it out, or you want to leave any of the questions? What do you want to do?
What are we? So what? 2 and 3 quarter in.
Long.
Really long. I feel like I have to do. There's 2 questions from last week that I was going to do this week.
What's that? We can be quick with it. Okay, so I'll get our patrons a quick shout out. And Matty, as I said, he just won the tournament, played Andrew, and he's also our newest patron. So thanks, mate, for that. Firebird 7137, Peter Holman, Mark Langley, he's also in there, Boss Grand, Matt Hinton, the Old Warrior blog, Warhammer the Old World. Maybe I just should start calling it the Old Warrior. Silver Dave, Sporadic Sanity, Mark, Nick, Grand Vanderbolch, Chris Bowler, Drunk Hammer, Nate, Ben, Shooter Louis, Eugene Shaffer, Benoit, Ed Fawcett, Cam the Dentist, James McClellan, Liam Fallon, Tommy Kublin, Jay McBride, who's in the chat, Flatwell Jedge, Sexy, Jelly's also there, Hera of the Old World, Killherd, David Dodgelands, Caster, Tommy Dogs, Matthew Klein, Thumper, Matt Morris, Perfidy's there as usual, Griff, Jess Tors, Wood Duck, Josh Griffiths, Denanimum, Daniel Broadstock, Jonathan Wingler, Elliot Mitchum. Is that Elliot that we met as well? Isn't that Elliot?
I met an Elliot.
Because we had multiple people coming up to us talking to us. And
Elliot came up. I didn't know if it was Elliot Mitchum. I didn't ask for his last name.
Maybe it is.
He said,
Diesel, Danny Gamer, Robert Z, OG Whirler, Tainted, Bobby Gherkin, we can hardly read his name, Gunwich, Sean Ritchie, Todd Lloyd, and Chapstick. So big thank you, guys. 50, whatever it is, for paid patrons. Big thank you. And if you want to join them, patreon.com, Old World Fanatics. Much appreciated. And you can send us questions, which Josh basically manages now somehow.
And sometimes it takes a week for us to get them because we have such long episodes. Back, which I feel really bad. But yes, I do. I will hit 2 questions because I think these are really good questions. I like them. Well, Miss Jake's one's good. So Miss Junk asked, what do you guys think was the best era to either to play or to collect a Warhammer? It's a big question. It's a really big question.
It's hard to, you can answer it, but it's always the context of, I don't know, it feels like where you were at the time makes it that as well, if you know what I mean. Like the memories you might have had around that era.
Isn't like,
it's probably got nothing to do with the edition. It's just what you were doing or what you were playing at the time, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Like a lot of the best memories are, you're young and you're playing this game where you're actually getting only like 10% of the rules correct.
Yeah.
But because of the fun you're having with your childhood friend. Yeah.
Oh, this is magical. You get older, you're like,
yeah. Perfidy's cool. He just gave like a 2 dates, like the best one to collect in, the best one to play in, which is pretty cool.
It's a very succinct answer, Perfidy. That's not how we do it on the Old World Fanatics.
Yeah. You got to ramble longer, Perfidy. At least 3,000 word essay. Thank you. All I'd say, the editions I like I take in because I remember the most personally for me is probably like 5th edition because that was the high school era for me. So I played a lot of that. And then 8th holds a special memory for me too because that's when I met you guys. Plus, I don't know. I just felt like that was, even though I know 6th and 7th was like the heyday of the big one. I just think 8th it had the better, like everything was coming out plastic, and like when they were getting supported before it all fell apart. I felt like it, and I don't know. I love the 8th edition book. I like the look of the armies. Like I like a look of an 8th Ed army over a 6th Ed army, even though you probably argue 6 is the better, tighter game and all that. Well, like 6th, 7th. I like the big units. I like seeing those 50 halberdiers and stuff like that, and some of that bigger monstrous infantry and cab around, without it being too monster hammer.
No,
so.
Yeah, I like Perfect's comment about I was the only one of my friends who ever read the rules, which meant I could invent them on the fly to help me win. There was definitely a guy in my childhood group that played that role. No one else knew the rules, and he never lost a game. I'm like, damn it, Liam.
Yeah.
Damn you! Why did you lose?
Did you ever go back and check, or this is too far?
No, we didn't have copies of the book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We couldn't go back and check.
Did anyone used to go to Games Workshop and like read the demo? You know how they used to have books open, like the store, it's like the copies you could read. And then you used to write. I used to like take a note thing and write stuff. And then
did you?
Yeah. I basically got the entire Magic decks and stuff over time just by reading them all, and then leaving the shops for a bit and sitting down and getting lunch and writing it and go back and check it again. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I was thinking about this. So the best era to collect Warhammer for me, it's like, there are certain eras where I like the figures, but I didn't have the ability financially to collect anything. Like just scrounging together or 1 or 2 blister packs here or there, and that was all you could do.
Yeah.
I felt I really enjoyed going back and playing 8th Ed. And I had all this money, and I could just like buy whatever the hell I wanted. And that was, for me, that was a very fun, enjoyable experience. Remember the old?
It was.
Yeah.
Free painting.
Well, I used to do that at Chatswood. So
Yeah, that's nice.
I got a funny story with that, because you're saying like you could only buy a few blisters at a time.
Yeah,
I was exactly the same. I could only buy a few blisters at a time, but I still bounced around armies. So I had like a command group of like dwarf longbeards, and then I had like beastmen Ungors, and I had some silver helms. Like I was kind of bouncing around armies, but I never bought like one
army.
So, You'd like rock up your army, you had like dwarves, elves, beastmen. You just
oh man, maybe that's why I was so stuck on, well, not stuck, but I was so loyal to Bretonians, because I knew if I stuck with that army, I just keep building it up, and then because all my auntie and stuff knew, all my other friends knew what army it was. When I get presents for Warhammer, it would always be Bretonians.
That's a good tip for the.
There you go.
Yeah,
the 12-year-olds out there with no disposable income.
Stick to an army. Another reason.
An army. Please, Daddy.
That's funny. We started off. Andrew and I started off in the same way we continued. Really, so you got 3 different armies all going at once. That's fun.
I did.
I did. Love it.
And that's why I've got high elves and I haven't got basemen, but I've obviously got dwarves. And you've got Bretonians. I can't believe you've actually stuck with your Bretonians. Like your trajectory has been Bretonian.
Incredibly loyal.
With you
up until this, apparently up until recently, completely straight away.
Yeah, it's changed now.
Yeah,
eventually everyone gets corrupted.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dark Master whispers.
We don't have time to go through my hobby, but it'll be. I do have some hobby next week that's slightly Slaneshi, so you guys will have to wait and see. That's what we'll have to wait and see. I had a whole story about this.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Maybe. Have we answered that question?
One more, or
yeah, I've got one more question. Okay. One more question. This is temporally relevant. Perfidy asks, why does Games Workshop hate Beastmen? I think in the context of putting out the release.
Yeah, I don't know.
You hate
the tease, and then they ran off. Yeah. Hopefully it's next week. I don't know.
Yeah. Can I also put in that he also asked Empire Arcane Journal review when?
ASB was ready last week.
What happened to ASB?
Oh no, ASB was ready, but I
here
ended up
too.
playing Andrew. So I didn't hit him up because I ended up playing Andrew on Thursday night last week. So I sort of ran out of days in the week, and I knew that going out Friday, and then I was going down the thing. It's just too much. So I have to try and get it in. But we've still got another pod to organise as well.
Yep,
it'll be fun.
Is that a bonus question for Josh?
Oh, Perfity. He asks me, what would it take for me to play another army? And if you did, which one? Perfity, I do have other armies. It's not like I only have Bretonnians. That's it. Obviously, I got the Colours Slash Dark Elves. And B, I've got a whole Wood Elf army. I've also painted up an entire demon army as part of the campaign. It's just sitting there now. I don't know. I've got a bunch of armies. It wouldn't be Monolith army. Yeah, I've got an army of Monolith. Of
painting lots of sexually orientated terrain. Yeah.
Because you can't.
That's it.
Just wait till you see my hobby next week, guys.
That's it.
I won't go into it, but
are we playing a bit of penises or maybe? Too far? No. Right.
No.
Culture Slash. Back in Penis Valley. Sorry.
Well, yeah. Well, what are we going to chat next week? We've got to do our voiceover of that bat rep that I discovered last week as well at some point. I swear we would have had Beastman by now to talk about, but we just haven't. So we're
going to do our React video. I've chosen not to watch it specifically, so we can do this ridiculous thing. Yeah. Is it going to work on air or not?
Idea. I'll have to work that out. Yes, I think I can, but who knows? It's
only will it be good watching? Yeah, is it actually going to be worthwhile?
Probably not. It was it Perfidy or someone left a comment? Or was it Mark about on the video? After one of them did, I can't remember, or someone did. Yeah, about saying careful of this guy.
Oh, yeah,
now where he grows.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Oh god, we'll have that.
Out for that one.
Anyway, we better wrap this one up then. But yeah, we'll have to think of a topic for next week if anyone's got any ideas or any questions for us.
Josh focused. I can't wait to see this. Can that be part of the maybe Josh? Will that be big enough for an episode?
Maybe
like a Josh focus where you're at back with 6 and the
Oh, you mean like in a campaign wrap-up type thing?
Like
about?
The campaign focus.
Yeah, I could do a half episode. I could do half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah. I'm keen for an update on where you're at. That was awesome.
Yep.
It'll be good. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks for that, guys.
Reactions to my effort.
Yeah. I think Josh is a big one, so he's big enough. There you go. Beast next week. Honest. Okay, well, almost certainly not, says Mark. So hopefully. Yes, well, we're all good. Hopefully they will be there. Thanks, guys, for everyone here. There's so many people still at the end of this. A big thank you, guys, for that. The 9-inch charge guys are there.
Incredible.
I'm going to try and get
for 2.5 hours talking about this battle rap and stuff.
People listening to me talk
amazing.
We are going to get a collab with 9-inch charge at some point. We're sorry, we will sort that out, but because of the tournament, I didn't get back to it. Like it's a bit trying to sort all this out. So we will get around to it. Get some more videos out. Really appreciate it. Jump over to Old World Fanatics on our podcasts or on YouTube if you're now finally listening to this, and over onto our Patreon at patreon.com. Old World Fanatics. Jump on our Patreon, Discord, and really appreciate everyone being here. We'll see you next week. Otherwise, and keep rolling dice, painting figures, and love it. See you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Ciao.